YouTube, what's going on? Solution for the Solution Case. Back with another live. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and tap the notification button so you know when I'm doing another one of these things. So last night, we talked about a lot of things, and like I told you, I don't announce when I do these. I just jump on. It's an unusual Saturday where I have time to actually do this. Yeah, I know I try to keep this to a minimum of an hour, but yesterday went over an hour and a half. Y'all know I've done this for 2 hours before. I try not to do that, but as people come in and ask questions, I'm cool with that. And this is where I take questions from subscribers, non-subscribers who I hope become subscribers, people doing drive-bys. Welcome to the stock room, as we call it. All right. What we got in here? Let's chat. Hey, what's going on? All right. Jesse Christ. Appreciate you dropping in. Man, we're just chopping it up. I do have a topic, and I think this is where some people are today at this current time. I think there's a sneaker battle going on, if I'm not mistaken. You have to actually put it on. My notifications are crap. Some people I get stuff on, some people I don't. I just found out the other day. I mean, my man threw me out there. He was like, man, I've been watching your videos. Only thing I asked is you sub up to me. I was like, I think I am. And I was sub to him, but YouTube sometimes turns off notifications from people. What's going on, man? Blunts Beats 314, welcome, man. Hey, we're just talking about the trends and topics that's going on in the culture right now. It's a continuation from last night. If you missed last night, we're adding on. Before I get started, man, rest in peace to the late Chadwick Boseman. We lost a great one yesterday. He had been battling cancer, colon cancer to be exact, for 4 years. And the reason why I mentioned that part is that it's amazing the work that he did while he was battling cancer. He fought a great fight. He gave us 3 movies. He gave us 3 movies while he was going through cancer-related surgeries and chemotherapy. And I'm sure everyone has had someone in their family, someone close to them, a friend that's gone through that. And it takes people down, you know? It takes people down. So that's why you see the Black Panther hat on actually have some shorts in the same colorway as well. And I just wanted to stop and pause because the amazing body of work. He attended Howard University, also attended a HBCU, Coppin State. So yeah, I couldn't believe it. And he's 43, all right, a few months younger than me, and it's mind blowing. YouTube's been replacing notice with vids related to your last searches and or views. I had to go back to certain channels and flip the bell again. Yeah, no doubt. Rest in power to Chadwick Boseman, man. And people forget about his other movies that are very impactful that led to him being placed in the MCU. And that was the James Brown story and 42. 42 is probably the movie that made people take notice of him because he killed that role. If you haven't seen 42, please watch 42. We basically attribute his body of work from Civil War to Black Panther to Infinity War to Endgame. And like I said, he gave us three powerful action movies while he was battling cancer. And he was a superhero that we needed. Yeah, Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Black Thurgood. Forgot about Thurgood Marshall. You talk about bodies of work, legacy. When people mention your name and they tie your name to these amazing pieces of work, you have done good. Here's an interesting story about Chadwick that I read. I read this a while ago. When Black Panther became this international phenomenon, all right, he came out and told us that, meaning the fans of the movie in the interview, he had been holding a secret. And that secret was Denzel Washington had paid for him and a few other young aspiring actors to go to one of the colleges in Oxford University in England. You know, Oxford, that is pretty much the school on the planet. he paid for him to go through an acting course. So Denzel, once Black Panther exploded, met up with Chadwick and said, "Yeah, good job and everything, but where's my money?" Jokingly, all right, jokingly, but he didn't want to tell people that the great Denzel Washington had this major part in his career, basically sharpening his skills, his acting skills, because he saw the talent in him. Right, he saw the talent in him. Now Denzel's son is a darn good actor as well. Briefly played football. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Bodies of work, man. I'm glad you mentioned that word, legacy. Oftentimes, when we're younger, we don't think about the things that we do that become our legacy, negative, positive, or apathetic. These are the things that when people mention your name, they mention that about you. And in my previous career, I did one thing, okay, among other things, but at the mid part of my career, I won this competition. I basically won like this endurance competition, and I broke a record that it won't be broken again because they don't do the competition in that format anymore. So they would say my name. They're like, "Oh, he won the Iron NCO competition." So that was always attached to my name that I won that competition. But yeah, let's get into some sneaker stuff, man. He will always be, in our hearts, man. If you follow me on another platform, you saw my picture, and that picture is actually old. I took that picture when the movie came out, so that was like 2018. All right, that's not a recent picture at all. So I wasn't clout chasing anything like that. I just never posted. I took it. I never posted. Actually, I use it in class. I use it in my media production class, but I never publicly posted. I don't think. But let's get with the sneakers, man. Let's get with the sneakers. Let's talk about limited sneakers, y'all. Like severely limited sneakers and some of the craziness that goes on that I've seen. Uh Sneak on the chopping block today is an Air Jordan 1 Dior. Somebody correct me. I believe there were 8,000 pairs made, something like that. All right. Yeah. Name. All right. Name. I have my grandfather's name as well. And it's something powerful about having that title at the end, the surname of it. It also puts pressure on you when you see somebody with like the third, the fourth. You better do something of note. And I was always pressured with that. Hey, you got to do something, and I did. I like to say I did. But let's talk about these Dior's, man. I was recently accosted by a seller offering me a pair of Dior's for sale. He was the plug, if you will. And I was like, okay, all right. I kind of led him on about it and stuff like that. And he was like, 500, you know, you can't beat it. I'm like, dude, they're 2,000. Okay. These things cost $2,000 and they're limited. Who are you fooling? All right. So we went through that, and this is a segue to it. One of my more active videos, not one of my biggest videos. All right. Believe it or not, if you go back and look, it looked like I just got started. What happens is I take breaks. I don't do sneaker videos for a while because of life. All right. It's not something that I do. Matter of fact, me dropping 4 videos, well, 2 videos and 2 lives in 1 week is downright amazing for me. All right. I get involved in life, you know, grown man stuff when I'm not sitting in front of this camera. So anyway, I want to say way back in early 2018, I did a video, or was it late 2018? Now I don't want to mention that. Anyway, there was a lot of accusations that some sneaker YouTubers who were resellers were selling not so worthy sneakers, if you will. So I didn't address that really in the video. All right. I talked about how that person came under fire. And I started going after the IG scammers. Well, what had happened was the video did this, then did this, then it flatlined. And as soon as the stimulus checks hit, it took off. And what happened was it was the teenagers. The teenagers got $500, I think. All right. I don't have a kid that's 16. My child is much younger than that. But they all got $500. And if they're into sneakers like that, they want to use that money and get their own shoes without asking mom and dad. Obviously they can't work anymore because of the pandemic. And they're trying to maximize that $500. So these scammers, being the nifty, horrible characters they are on Instagram, they started going after them. All right. And to sum this up, y'all, if it's too good to be true, it's not true. All right. 2 for 150, 3 for 300. That's not happening, you all. There's no way. A lot of these fools, only thing, I'm going to tell you how I was taking them down. Pictures. I would copy the pictures from their Instagram, okay, and do a search. And that same picture would appear with other people's profiles. That's how I was getting them. All right. And I would just go on there and blast them and stuff like that. And he would block me and all that. Look, if they only want PayPal's friends and family, that's a problem. All right. If they only want Cash App, that's a problem. If they want Venmo, Google Pay, all these things where it's hard to get a charge back, okay, we can get your money back. They don't want to touch that, okay? They don't want to touch that. So, I was having these conversations with these young men and sometimes young women as well. There's a lot of young female sneakerheads, aspiring sneakerheads. They're in their teens. They would come across my video doing a search, and they're like, "Okay, man, this dude's like dropping the Lawton statue and all that stuff where it talks about wire fraud and stuff like that." Now, the fact of the matter is that there have been sneakerheads gone to jail for this. All right, so think about that. All right, so it's still happening, and I would tell people. I actually put it on the video. I no longer go after the IG scammers. I no longer go after the Twitter scammers. I don't do that anymore. Okay, I don't do that anymore. And the reason for it is that I gave you all the information to how to identify these people. Okay, they will stay in contact with you until they get that money. All right, if they're super attentive, you already know, scammer. The person that's selling, they're not going to bother you. All right, they're going to do a follow-up once and they're going to keep it moving. That's it. That's it. All right. And I'm not going to be engaging in stuff like that. Okay. If I got to do stuff like that, I shouldn't be involved in the sneaker game. Period. All right. So this weekend, we got the biohacks dropping. And let me see if I could pull this up and show you guys this shoe, since we were talking about this yesterday. Give me a second. I'm gonna try to screen share. Yeah, here we go. We're going to use Sneaker Bar Detroit. All right. I don't swear about any platform or anything like that, but just for picture sake, we're going to use them. Okay. I should have got my mouse because I'm trying to do this with my screen. Shout out to the touch screen. Y'all see what I'm doing. All right, so let's try to share my screen. All right, sharing these with 2 monitors. Okay. Let's see if it works. All right. Chrome tab. All right, so here we are. This is the it's basically a combination of a dunk, okay, a SB dunk. Now, the truth of the matter, I've already tried to enter a raffle for these things around here because I like colorful sneakers. I actually like these, man. They need to show more than just the medial side. Oh, here we go. Cool, right here. All right. So it's a nod. Excuse me, I said it wrong. It's a nod to that sneaker. Okay, it's a nod to the SB. and he made it into a Jordan 1. Now, it's a couple of things on here that Jordan Brand is milking. That deconstructed thing from Off-White and all that stuff. They're still milking that with the exposed stitching and the inner materials. But I like shoes like this. I really do. I like sneakers like this. I like colorful stuff. Now, some people say, nah, I ain't with that. I'm cool. I'm good. I like this. You can do a lot with this if you got some fashion sense. So what do y'all think? Yeah, they'll pressure you on the sale and everything, back to the scammers and all that stuff. But I just want you all to be vigilant. And in that video, I tell you everything to look out for. So, to spread the word, I'm not going to go after people anymore. I'm not doing that. It's a bit of a headache. I pretty much made my presence felt and known. I've had culprits try to report my channel and stuff over that, and nothing came of it. But hey, just be vigilant when you're out there. It's your money. All right, a fool and his money are easily separated. Don't be foolish. All right, if it's too good to be true, it is. Not that you can't come up on some steals and deals, but typically when you see stuff like that, it's not going to happen for you. All right, but back to these biohacks, man. I do like them. Dope sneaker, man. Dope sneaker. This is good. This is good. Something different. Something different. Not the usual mix up of the black, white, red, white. Red, black, red. We're getting something unique right here. And I've really been on my dunk thing as of late, man. Just something, something to mix it up. But I do like that they merged it. Okay, so Saturday, that's the was that Friday? No. The first is Tuesday. So yeah, Friday. These dropped this coming Friday. And I did not see the shoe in my area. So if Rod still be dropping, man, I have not seen this shoe releasing in my area unless I missed something. I checked all the venues and platforms we have out here. So here's one thing I wanted to address too. To the people that's kind of new to my channel and they haven't seen me do this before. From time to time, you will see. All right, cool. It's right here. You clear this up. And you can tell like the immature. Let's see if I can turn this off. All right, boom. All right, we're done talking about that. You could tell the immature people on sneaker YouTube. All right. From time to time, you'll see me review a sneaker and I'll be way under retail. Well, your usual rate, let's say, okay, this is a Jordan 4. Typically, it's going to be 190 or 200, depending on what it is. And right here, I have the white, bright crimson. It's the, I forgot the street name for these things. But anyway, a Super GR, okay? That's all the sneaker was. It was a outlet all-star. If you got it for cheaper than what I did, but when it released, hey, you weren't getting it for that low when it first dropped. So this sneaker, if you look at the sticker, hopefully you can see it. All right, see that little square sticker right there? Hopefully it's not washing out. Ah, there we go. All right, you see it says 152. Okay, it says 152, and it says exchange on it. All right, so what that is, it's the military exchange stores. Okay, you have a PX, a BX, a PX for the Army, a BX for the Air Force, an NEX for the Navy, an MX for the Marine Corps. The Coast Guard has their own exchange store. It's basically a big department store. Okay, if you aren't familiar with the the military lifestyle, if you will, it's basically a small city in itself, and they give you a little department store. It's tax-free. Now, sometimes it's not as cheap as the stores on the outside, but it's tax-free. All right. So any retro Jordan is going to be cheaper there. Retailing at 190, 152. All right. And sometimes you'll hear me talk about a $20 coupon. Sometimes they give you coupons for like customer loyalty and stuff like that. People use a Star card. Yeah, I think you get so many points. I don't use my Star card. All right. The APR is horrible. All right. It's horrible. Trust me. If you got one, pay it off, leave it alone. All right. Be like me. 20 years in the game. I tell soldiers, hey, use it for your uniforms. Don't do anything really retail with it because the APR is horrible. All right. It's going to start off with nothing. It's going to boom. But anyway, coupons and stuff. I had a situation with the Jordan 11 Concords being released at the store. Basically, the customer service reps, they were holding on to sneakers saying they didn't have anything. The way they have raffles, by the way. All their retro releases, 95% of them, you have to get up early Saturday morning. And this is the only time I camp out or stand in lines, if you will. It's worth it. It's not that many people, and they don't get a whole lot. They'll get no more than 25 to 30 pairs, if that, max. And they won't have a full size run. They'll have like 2 of each size, typically. Anyway, the base that's closest to me is Fort Sam Houston here in San Antonio, Texas. It's about a 10-minute drive for me. Well, it's a training base. So you got to look at the demographics. You have those 18 to 25-year-olds who want these retros, along with the permanent party, along with the civilians who have access, along with the retirees like me, all right, along with the veterans who just got out, all right? So they all have access to the store, and we're all competing for 25, max 30 pairs. You come in, you line up, they open the gate, they got 30 sneakers, they hand out 30 tickets. They're not going to give you a ticket for your size. You just have a ticket. Does not have your size, or not too many people have your size. With me, depending on the sneaker, I can go anywhere from 8.5 to sometimes 10. I got a couple of Jordan 1s that are size 10s, and I'm kind of cool with that, depending on the cut and the material. Can't go any further than that. That 10.5 I got up there is for sale. I was just being frivolous. I got it because I could. I'm gonna talk about your question now, some beats in a second. I saw it. All right. Well, your statement. I'm gonna talk about that and your question. So they hand you the ticket. You get in line. What you have to do. Shout out to my OG, Mr. Brown. Shout out to my OG, Mr. Brown. He is the dude. Like the mayor. If you know about mayor and the sneakers and stuff, you saw the big video with 2Js and stuff. He's like the mayor guy here in San Antonio. I mean, he's got a museum, basically. Anyway, it's nothing but respect for this dude. All right. A retired command sergeant major, older dude. Everybody gets in line. Hey, what size you need? What size you need? So if the person, you see 2 people for 9, okay, you're like, all right, I can get 9.5. Anybody need a 9.5? Anybody getting a 9.5? No 9.5. So you stick with the 9.5. All right, because there's 2 other people with 9s. You don't want to screw people over. So that's how we work it, at least in my area, because it's always the same dudes and a couple of women. We work it out. We don't engage in the silliness that you see on the outside. We take care of each other. Yeah, hey, we sit in line and stuff. You get like you're sitting there like, hey, what size you need? Oh, I need a 10. All right, I'm good. You need a 9? Anybody need a 9? 9.5? No 9? All right, cool. Somebody shows up the last minute. They're at the back of the line. And you already counted it up and everything. So if they're smart, they know, is it 25 or 30? And you can only get 1 pair, by the way. It's 1 shoe per ID card holder. So you can't do that. All right, you can't do that. So that's the way it works. And that's how we get our sneakers for the low. I hand them that coupon if I got it. Boom. So that 152 on a 190 sneaker goes down to 132 sometimes. Can't beat it. So Blunts and Beats 314. Speaking of pressure, came up on the Union Force earlier and having watched the normally early plug scramble post. Inf hit me up. Off to all sizes. The Union just set the height release mark. I don't know. Those Union 4s, I'm not feeling them. I'm not feeling them. Unless you're getting them just to, make some money. Cool. When I saw them, I was like, they should have went with the prototype models that came out. It was like a bread kind of looking one and a blue and gray looking one too. But the two colorways they have, I'm not feeling them. So I was apathetic to them. I wasn't checking for them. So my bad. I didn't do the knowledge on it. What's going on, Bobby? I didn't study that sneaker. Matter of fact, my dude JD, he's like a Nike rep or something. When I post my take on that shoe, he was kind of like, give it a chance. I said, I know the hype beast is going after, and he did. They did. He had posted a follow up on and stuff like that. And you know how it is. It's a collaboration. It's union. You know what the union ones did. People are going to go nuts. Resell, or you hold it and it becomes, part of your stocks. The best way to look at your sneakers, if you're trying to make money in the long game, view your sneakers as stocks. That's the way I do it. Like, I might buy it and never get around to wearing it, but I don't buy it to sell it. It's just that if after time goes by, I haven't worn it, I let it go. I have to. Do you think the Jordan 1 dropping Friday will have a high resale value? The packs, yes. It's a lot of buzz with that, man. A lot of buzz with that sneaker. I just talked about it. All right. We're going to pop it back up there. That's the sneaker we were just talking about. Yes, the biohacks. There's a lot of talk about that. If it doesn't, I'd be shocked because right now I can't find any. Maybe I didn't try hard enough, but I know my Hibbits and my City Gears, who I normally get a lot of sneakers I miss on, they don't have in my area. And that's 3 stores down, and I'm in a big city. There's 1.5 million people here with a couple of malls. Not so much the sneaker. Union misdirected the bots for about 3 minutes, giving manual customers the ability to purchase. That's dope. What's going on, Soldier Kicks? I didn't speak to you earlier. Yeah, it's a good system, Bobby. And here's where the system got flawed. Where I came up on the stack of coupons. The Concord release. I almost missed out on the Concord release because of I'm gonna use my favorite word. The customer service reps who handle the retro releases were engaging in nefarious behavior. Yeah, I know me. I like the word nefarious. Yeah, they were engaging in nefarious behavior. So what they were doing was holding shoes. I contacted the regional manager for AFES, aka the Army Air Force Exchange Service, and let them know like this wasn't fair. I stood in line, got up early. I had a ticket. Get to the line. They said we're out. How? You hand out, and he said it. If we have 30 pairs of sneakers, we have 30 raffle tickets. Period. There's no way you can be out. So there's nothing he could do about it. But he did send me a stack of those coupons. So shout out to that guy. All right. He also followed up with me. He followed up with me. So it's a great system. They've been pretty good about it. Now they did screw up again with the breads, and I just didn't even mess with it. They were messing with the signs. So it looked like some stores didn't have them and some did. These employees know that is the Christmas sneaker, the Jordan 11 that gets released in December. If they have nothing to do with sneakers all year, they know that's the Christmas sneaker. So they try to do slick stuff. So yeah, but I had already hit with finish line, so I wasn't worried about it. And if you didn't get the breads, you just weren't trying. There was a trillion of them out there, but I didn't feel like dealing with the getting up early part. And the stupidity might have occurred. So yeah. All right. Once again, hopefully you all are subscribed to one another and you got good positive content. If you got a channel and you're doing some other stuff, I might not say anything on your channel, anything like that, because I don't like linking myself to certain things, y'all. It's no harm, no foul. It's just not my brand of content and stuff like that. I'll avoid certain things. All right. So y'all never see me on certain channels because of that. All right, it's just not my thing. Too old for that, man. You know, I like shoes. That's it. You know, I'm an old dude like shoes. You know, it's not that serious to me. Okay, it's not that serious to me. I'd rather have a bunch of allies than a bunch of people that's rocking with me because I'm involved in turmoil and stuff like that. I don't do that. It's just not my thing. If you do that and that's your brand, is all entertainment, and that's cool. You know, that's cool. But I'm not going to help you. Okay, I'm not going to help you. Oh, I forgot, y'all. Let me always forget to invite people. I want y'all to feel like I'm just sitting here talking to y'all. If you want to jump in, I'll let you in. Okay, I'll let you in. So that's the link. Oh, one thing I wanted y'all to know. I appreciate when people donate in the super chat. I appreciate it. But if you aren't an analytics person, okay, and I really encourage you all to look at your analytics, look at your analytics on your channel, because it kind of lets you know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. Okay, like why haven't you gained traction, all that type. It kind of gives you a somewhat of a glimpse. All right, they can't tell you if your content is not doing what it's supposed to do, but it kind of tells you number wise what you should be doing. Most of us look at analytics for the monetary purposes and that's what I'm talking about right now. So you donate in the super chat, right? Hey, what's going on, man? I told you I probably would do this. I did. I told two people I might go live again. Um, but when you donate in the super chat, say you donate $10, probably going to see about barely $2 of that. All right, Google's tearing us up with that. I don't want to put like Cash App information on it, but I do appreciate when people do donate via the super chat. And I read off a lot of your comments and stuff like that. I always look at the screen. That's why I keep it right here so I can see it. And I try to announce everybody that drops in. All right. I don't have a trillion people running. I think the most I ever had on my live stream was like 30 people. And that was a monster trying to acknowledge people. I don't want to feel like somebody's constantly saying something and I'm not acknowledging. I don't like to be ignored myself. Okay. I understand if you're in a massive live chat, you might not stand out. That's the purpose of the super chat. But I do appreciate the donations and everything. And I look at it and it's a good look, man. You know, what's funny is like people will text me while I'm on here that know me personally. Like jump in the chat, you know? Yeah. So I just wanted you all to know that I'm not gonna put like my PayPal information, my Cash App down there. Somebody said you should do that. That way they know just to donate to that. Um, I don't think I'm on that scale yet, or I actually don't feel comfortable with putting that down there because it's kind of like, hey, pay me, please give me some money. It's kind of like when you see, I don't do females still do that? It's my birthday, donate $5 to me on there. They put their Cash App information out there. Do some females still do that? You know, heck, I saw dudes doing that. But hey, to whatever. What's the saying? It ain't tricking if you got it. Not doing that. All right. But yeah, the oh, they still do. There's another sneaker. Let's talk about this one, y'all. I'm gonna share with you guys. Um, come on up. All right, here we go. Uh, can y'all see this screen? There we go. That's all we need. All right, y'all. This joint right here. In case you don't know, I'm not a fan of 14s. I stopped 13 and below when it comes to Jordans. I did have a pair of 32s. I gave them to my nephew. I got them for the super low at the base exchange. I I passed on the candy canes. I passed on the last shots. What was the other one that just came out recently? It's just not a silhouette that speaks to me. I've seen I think it was the Cinders they were called or something like that. Volts. They were in the outlets way back in 2017 ish or something like that. People are like, man, you should have got those. It's just not a sneaker that speaks to me. Right? I'm not cool with the design. All right. It's not a bad sneaker. It's just not for me. All right. And people are like, why do you don't like that sneaker? You know, come on, man. It's just not for me. That's all. All right. So that's dropping um pretty soon. September 19th. That's coming for all you Jordan heads out there. All right. So I love who was that? Wolf Kicks. The biohack one is an easy pass because I think I've seen an Angela's Paint custom that's quite similar from a few years ago. Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I like when people tell me when they don't like something and it's relevant. You know, it makes sense instead of like cuz like you're 5 years. Why do you like that? Cuz you know what's wrong? Cuz all right. Yeah. Well, so Kick said, I love 14s when the colorway makes sense. The grails are the forest green and the white cinder OG. Oh, Jesse Christ said, I like 14s, but these are not a must for me personally. Now, the other reason, too, is that I have this thing currently about redundant colorways. I'm trying to avoid having the same colorway setup, okay? Because it's like I could have wore that shoe, okay? Instead of that, no matter what the shoe is, if I have a white, black, and blue sneaker, and there's another white, black, okay, the Broyles, if you will, that I showed you all yesterday. Say they came out, all right, say um, the motorsports came behind it. They re-released those. Unless I really wanted that shoe, I'm going to avoid it because it's like, okay, why am I buying that shoe if I had that colorway? That's how I got myself almost towards 350 sneakers because I was copping because I could. All right. Not because, like, okay, I was truly chasing that sneaker. It's just the sneaker was available and I was able to get it. You know? He said, right. I felt the same way about the Hyper Royal 13. Yeah. It's like basic color blocking. Like, why get the same shoe again? Matter of fact, I have the Laker 13s just sitting up there, never worn. You know, I'm going to wear them because I like white and purple. But it's like, don't buy a similar colorway like that unless you really, really were after it. And I just had access to be able to get the shoe. And I mean, if the price is right, I might break that rule, but I'm trying to stay away from that just for diversity purposes and to draw down my collection because 327, 337. I'm telling you how many sneakers I had about a month and a half ago. You know, and I'm trying to just. I don't think it's going to happen, but stick to what you see right here. I got some drop fronts, and sneakers stacked up over here. If I could just do this right here, um, yeah, I'm doing well. But I got stuff in closets. All right, and it's a challenge, and my collection is bigger. These are almost J HPE colorways. Yeah, the Game Boy one came out the same month. Yeah, it's like they start milking stuff, and not to rehash what we talked about last night. That Chicago colorway that they were beating up from late October to December. I hope they learn from that. Okay, now if you couldn't get your hands on one shoe and you got the other one and that suffice, you know, that met the standard, cool. But if you're able to get all of them, like here you go again with another one. All right. So have some diversity. You know, if you're coming out with a 12, and it's blue, white, and black, don't come out with a one with it. All right. Let that, come a few months later. Get some diversity. All right. Some diversity. But hey, that's what I would like. But I'm not sitting at the table, at the marketing table at Nike Jordan brand. I'm not sitting there. Okay. But I've actually walked in the stores and I'm like, wow, I'm good. I don't need those. What they should do is release Mike Bibby colorway, Sacramento Kings colors, black, white, and purple. Yeah. Shoes up, sleeves down. What's going on, people? You know, the most symmetrical fro in the sneaker game. All right. Shout out to this guy. All right. I was into 4 raps at 12 different stores. Watch, I don't hit nothing. Hey, Soldier Kicks, you should hit something just off effort. All right. Just off effort. You should hit something. Got him kicks. A lot of people have swore by their cart service, via what they do with bots. I haven't used it myself, but I'm seeing people saying they've been successful with it. All right. Let me know. I mean, for $35 plus the shoe plus shipping, and you pretty much get the shoe versus other bot services or however they're doing it. I haven't used it yet. All right. I just want. How do y'all feel about it? Let's be positive. I don't care if you don't like a person or something like that. We're talking about the service. All right. I always say that stick to the business. All right. Stick to the business. I think it's kind of dope that they have something that's $35. Has anybody on here used them? I didn't know when to be online for the bread mids for the question of 2020 because I know they're going to sneak them onto East Bay when no one's looking. All right. We're going to hold off on that. All right, I'm come back to that, but I'm gonna answer his question. This is key. Y'all know me. I am Mr. Midlife Crisis. All right. I had a ton of mids to the point it became lucrative for me to sell off a lot of my mids. So what you'll see on 98% of any mid release, unless it's a collaboration, like the whole Fearless thing they were doing it, the Ali May, all that stuff, the Ginas, if you will. If it's not one of those type releases where it's collaborative, it's going to say to be determined or soon to be determined. That's what they do with mid. So what that means is as the stores get their inventory, they could put them on the shelves. All right. So you just got to be on the lookout, man. They have a lot of them. All right. And say what you want. The mids are selling. All right. The mids are selling. So shoes up, sleeves down. Say I can see pain. That takes a lot of weight off your shoulders, no doubt. And like I said, I've seen people, they got their Gotham's and all that stuff posted and everything with Gotham cards, $35, the shoe plus shipping and handling. That's awesome. All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome, y'all. You can't beat that versus a reseller cracking you over the head on the low end of $50 and up. So I haven't heard anything negative. Most time people hit on what they're looking for. So shout out for them. Like I said, I haven't seen anything negative. I just wanted to know somebody personally that's not affiliated with them, because there are people that I follow that I would like to say they work along with them. And I wanted a disinterested party, to say, hey, I used the service. It worked. All right. Because people are asking me about this. They're like, hey, I was like, well, I haven't used it. I don't know anybody personally has used it. I said, but I will address it. And that's not saying that I was suspicious of them. I just wanted to know firsthand if the service has worked. And it appears it works. All right. Brody Trump ran slots for me back in the day before the scam situation. Alamids of fire. Yeah, yeah, they are. You know, they are. People, I'm not going to hold y'all for 2-3 hours. Okay. I try to avoid going over that hour mark, 30 minutes. Yeah. All right. But I tried to avoid going over that, man, because some of us be on here chilling. All right. I have Nike ID Air Jordan 1 Alpha Mids from eons ago, mid tier like Cortez. Most people don't remember the quiet demand for those back in the day. Yeah. The gangsters had several pairs when I was younger. All right. Had several pairs of gangsters. That's what I used to call them. Not a shoe that I I had a pair of purple and white ones that were a gift. They were patent leather and came with like this medallion thing. Um, I found they don't agree with my feet, so I sold them. It's a very basic sneak. You got to think about it. That's like 1970s technology right there. All right, them dudes live on YouTube. Unlimited Cops and Never Serves I've been hearing about. Never heard of them. All OG colorways. I'm not like that, y'all. If I like the colorway, I like it. I don't chase the OG stuff. I don't make a big deal about Nike on the back, Nike Air on the back. I like it. I like it. Jumpman on the back. I don't care if the colorway appeals to me because it matches something in my closet. That's the way I work. If the shoe has to match something in the closet, which means I'm going to eventually wear it, not because it's some anarchist callback to back in '84 when Jordan got a splinter in his toe at the United Center. I don't care about that. All right. It's the colorway that speaks to me and the quality. All right. I found out a year or two ago that my mom was a big Cortez fan. I think she has a Nike ID pair. Oh, cool. All right. From Nike ID back when D Wade wore the Alpha Ones and Chicago colorways. I mean, the Alpha One offered OG colorways before people cared about OG. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. All right. Um, yeah, I don't make a big deal out of that. Like my collection is very, very diverse. If you've been following me for a minute, you're going to see Sauconys or Sauconys, um, some Puma RSX, love those. Diodore, got them all. Adidas Forum, Superstars, Pro, Pro models, got them all, man. Oh, Cortez the battle rapper. Oh yeah, man, these guys are trying to do anything to diversify uh their their um their brand right now, man. All right. Cortez. A lot of people like Cortez. He's one of those guys like Goods. Goods has to be teamed up with somebody, in my opinion, for me to really dig him. I wish Case Griffey was on here. That's my battle rap dude that I talk about battle rap. I love battle rap, y'all. Um, shout out to Tay Rock. I used to live not too far from Tay Rock and get my hair cut in the barbershop that he started battling in. Shout out to my man Tone. So big Tay Rock fan. He was on a losing streak for a while because he became predictable with the gun bars and stuff. But he revamped himself lately and he looks deadly. Cortez at 11 was a trash thoughts. He's just talking. I call it the elitist thing. You got people that say it's like mids. I'm not rocking mids. Jordan didn't wear mids. All right, do your research on that. Lows. Okay, he didn't wear lows, but they were OG lows back in the day. All right. You mean to tell me you're going to turn down the Chicago colorway lows, the Shadows, the Royals? Those three. You're going to turn the bread lows? You'll turn those down? I think when you have um, other colorways and models that that come out, it gives you more diversity. All right. Like I have the 11 lows, I have the Barons, I have the IEs. The IEs are kind of like love hate type deal. I think sometimes it's just like your foot, you know, sometimes it's your foot. Like certain shoes don't agree with certain people, you know, foot. So some certain shoes, because of your body type, don't look good on you. All right. I only agree with Cortez about big cuff jeans on 11. Who does it? People still doing big cuff jeans? I mean, if you do, all right, cool. I think it's dated, in my opinion. It's not for me. I like a tapered, you know, leg opening, in my opinion. You know, shout out to the dudes um, that's looking like, you know, Cash Money taking over for the 99 and the 2000. You know, shout out to y'all. All right. You've been rocking ones before 2010. Everything was mids. Even the band ones was the X, with the X was a mid. Yeah, you know, people, you know, on some elitist thing. You know, I mean, you like what you like. Me not liking it is not going to make you change your mind, unless I probably show up like a quality flaw. There's no quality issues with the 11 low or the I mean, with the ones they have in the mids, they have put lesser desired materials on some. But when you see SE special edition, they tend to put better leather on those. I will say that. Done the jailhouse cuff recently. I mean, I like my jeans tapered, man. A jogger or tape. I can't look like I'm about to be an extra in the Franchise Boys video in my white tee, about to do some, you know, snap my fingers and do your step like it's 2002. I'm not doing that, man. All right, put a headband on, some wristbands. You know, nah, not doing that. You know, it works with low tops. The Joker ones were labeled as retros and were mids. Mm-hmm. I love rubbing that pair in people's faces. Take that, elitist. Yeah. My goal is to see that Why Do You Hate Mids Part One video make it to 100,000 views before the end of the year. And the reason for that is because I've seen larger sneaker YouTubers copy that. Nobody did that video before me. All right. No one did that video. I'm not saying that you owe me. All right. But I'm saying you got it from me. Trust me. You saw that video. All right. You saw that video's popping. That I still get paid from that video. So even the part two, my dude P Town, he said I need to do a part three because the recent changes with the mids as of late. And I was like, no, I'm not going to milk it. You know, I waited almost a year and a half to do the second part. It's like it got too bad where people were like, hey, you got to talk about this Fearless Pack thing, man. You got to update this video. You got to give us an update. Now it's too soon. All right. Unless something, well, like when somebody said the bread mids come, I definitely have to do something about that. I think that would be when that shoe drops. That's the time to roll out part three. All right. I don't want to milk it. All right. Like it's a series or something like that. People are funny, man. Do you think we'll put that video up? Oh, I mean, let me see. People don't even remember the Wing logo box. Got something for you. Glad you mentioned that. All right, I'm telling y'all, man. When I say I'm an OG sneakerhead, look, I am an OG sneakerhead. Y'all see that? Y'all see it? And no, I didn't put it on the other box. All right. Oh yeah, yeah. What's in here? This is one of my more unusual mids right here, man. This is the infrared. All right, and it's got 3M on it. These are straight up unworn, man. Peep it. Look at that. Still got the shoe stiffener. And I think I got these in 2013, 2014. Yeah, I got these in the beginning of 2014 because the production date is from September of 2013 to October. And yeah. So your wife has those small foot gang, man. It's a dude shoe though. It's a dude shoe. All right, 9.5 men's. And I got these from Shoe City. Y'all want to see the price on these? Look at that orange sticker. Y'all see that? Because the young boys where I was living at, it said the sneaker was too loud. All right, it was a mid. It was too loud. But yeah, eventually I will put my foot in those. I need to. Yeah, I saw a dude skateboarding in those. I was like, whoa, dude, wow, okay. But we got woke veggie. What's going on? Welcome. Make sure I ain't miss anybody. Man, these bandmates are giving me too much suspense. Just drop it. Like I said, they're gonna put to be determined and soon to be determined. And once they get their inventory, they can put it right on the shelf. They don't have to wait because there's no release date. As they get them, they can sell them. Just like a Team Jordan, unless it's a collaboration. That's how it works. And that was from a regional sales manager from Foot Locker that I talked to who explained that to me. You remember the Formidable Foes pack? You can't find on the black market mid. Top ones matter. Nah. Like I tell you, to readdress something, I wasn't rocking retro Jordans to 2014. I was an Air Force One, like OG sneaker kind of guy, Pumas, Diodors, Saucony, stuff like that. Even New Balance for a minute. That was in my collection. I wasn't paying attention to retro Jordan. I was like, whatever. I was doing that when I was younger. And then I got back into it in 2014 because I basically realized I had so much access to them where I lived. I had a couple of stores where they were just chilling there. And I was like, oh, that's a dope colorway. I get them. That's a dope colorway. Oh, I get them. Yeah. You kill me. I hate texting on here, but people are shy. Yeah. Orlando, Seattle, Phoenix, Philly, and Portland all made from a pack. It's like when they did the rivalry pack and they made one mid and they started putting the colors on it. I think it's down here somewhere. I don't know, y'all. I just put my sneakers up here and oh, I gotta readdress this. People are funny. You talk smack about mids, but everybody want this one. Sandy. Not very well made. You talk about the quality on it, and this is crap material, y'all. Look how creased that is. All right, worn once, got creased up. It's got the yellow sole, translucent sole. That was pretty cool. But yeah, man, people are hilarious. Oh, speaking of peas, this sneaker right here, I found. I think I was in Gulfport, Mississippi, or somewhere near Mobile, Alabama. And this is the Russell Westbrook Jordan 1P. You see his logo right there. I think I got this thing for like $39, $59. It's got the Jumpman on the back, so y'all probably hated it because of that. So, yeah. The olive green Jordan 1 mids. I got some suede olive green mids with like hits of Sequoia. No, is it Sequoia orange? No, it's called Sequoia and Total Orange, if I'm not mistaken. I got those as a gift. Yeah, the first Laker mid. That's the one with like the clear sole, like the icy purple kind of sole. Yeah. Those set at the military, like I said last night, I could have drove around, bought like 5 pairs of those things. And now the resale on them is pretty nice to be a mid. But yeah, this Westbrook one right here. I've been debating should I sell this thing or not for the low, because it's a hard sneaker to match. I mean, you could wear like all black, but finding something like this is hard. It's a crazy color, man. Like teal and infrared. What are they calling this? That's why it's set. Teal, black, yep, teal and infrared. I knew that's what it was. It hung around because it's an odd combination. Like, where'd this come from? It's not even when he's with the Thunder. It has nothing to do with the Thunder's colors at all. Mm-hmm. All right, Camaro's 383. Oh, you got a suit for that? Okay. All right, cool. But yeah, these are if anybody's interested, these are 9.5. They retailed at 130. I don't sell my sneakers over retail, unless the market dictates that. Okay. But if it's something like this and it's unworn, I haven't worn it. I haven't put my foot in the sneaker. I pulled it out a couple of times to try to match it up with something, and I changed my mind. It's Boats Kicks. What's going on? Welcome to the chat. Sorry about that. I hit the mic, y'all. All right. Once again, yeah, it's odd, man. That's why I haven't worn it, and it doesn't have great material. It's got your usual Jordan 1 kind of stuff on here. Nothing crazy, man. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy at all. But yeah, I'm probably gonna let this go really, really soon. I got 3 sneakers that I pretty much have come to grips with that I thought I was gonna hold on to for a while. I said, nah, somebody appreciate these a little bit more than I will. They gotta go. They gotta go. I don't want them falling apart because they fall apart and I never got a chance to wear them. That would be unfortunate. And what was that gray and gym red and white Jordan 1 that came out recently? That's why I didn't get this one, because I had this all gray suede one. I'm like, I'm not going to wear it because I have this. And this is part of a pack. It was a red and a blue suede one too, and I passed on those because I said I got too many monochrome red and blue sneakers already, so I got the gray one. And I've worn this a couple of times. It's a dope sneaker, cool gray. Not people like that. Wolf gray, pardon me. Nike in their colors. Yeah. A lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff that I need to just say, all right, I'm good. What shoes? You got a small foot, right? You wear 8.5. I think you post like 8.5 a couple of times. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's Boats Kids. I appreciate that. There's one to cop the Jordan 1 satin high. No one really likes that shoe. I think it looks good. I modified mine. I painted the swoosh red, and every time I wear them, people have looked like, "When those come out?" I said it's the satin black. I just painted the swoosh gym red. Like, it looks like the sneakers should come like that. Seriously. Yeah, I got them for the low. It was part of my birthday pickup back in late March or April. It took forever for them to come in because that's when COVID was really killing us. I got 8.5 for 12s using. Okay, we're the same size. If you ever see a shoe that I'm willing to let go, all right, you can see up here, you see 9s, 9.5s, you see a couple of 8.5s in here. Just ask me a question. Worst thing you get is a no. All right. because I've been trying to thin the herd. And you wear a lot of different stuff, so I always appreciate the stuff that you post. It's like, all right, I'm not posting. This is what I like, so you got to appreciate that. I'm the same way. I am the same way. Like, I'm not chasing after the acclaim and the approval. Like, I bought these because I like them. You don't like it, buy me. Like I said last night, that's just the way I am, y'all. That's the way I am. I got an 8.5 right here. This is a shoe that I would strongly advise to let go. Y'all know what this is, right? This is the Jordan 5 Take Flight Premium Olive joint. I got this sneaker for the low. I wanted it. I missed out on my size. It's an 8.5. I can do an 8.5 and a 5, but I prefer not to. And this is a premium sneaker, y'all. Premium sneaker. It actually retailed for $279. Well, excuse me. It actually retailed for $400. They had it at the outlet for $279, but it was actually cheaper than this, and I actually got 40% off of it. So I wound up only paying like $129 for this sneaker. And it's a funny story behind it. So this 8.5 didn't come, as you say, your reflection should reflect you. True. Don't buy stuff just for the sake of buying it. Buy it because it's stuff you would wear. All right. If not, what are you doing besides selling sneakers? That doesn't make sense. Okay. People buy stuff for content, though. Take it back on Tuesday, but I didn't say that. If you've been watching sneaker YouTube long enough, you should know that. All right. So this sneaker right here, yeah. You had the Bordeaux, which I really like. You had I think it was like a platinum white joint, but I like olive. I love olive, so I got this, but it's an 8.5, y'all. It's 8.5, and I haven't even put my foot in this shoe. So what happened was when it was at the outlet, only thing it was in was they had a torn box, but it was an 8.5 that had the box intact. Then it was a 10.5 that had the bag. It was an 11 that had the card that comes in here. Where's the card? All right. So what had happened was, with some assistance, I'm going to throw them under the bus too, we put a complete shoe together to have everything I would have retail. And yeah, some people you can't take shopping with you, man. But some people you should take shopping with you. So that was funny. I should have recorded that. But I was able to piece together all what was supposed to be in a box. But yeah, some people said this was a bust. Take it back on Tuesday for real. Yeah. Did y'all know that? If you buy a release that drops on Saturday, by policy, you cannot return that release. All right. A retro release until Tuesday. And that was a hustle a lot of sneaker YouTubers are doing. So they were flipping that $190 sneaker. That's how they were able to bring you content like that back in the day. Then what would happen was, I'm not going to name names, all right, but it's not hard to figure out what was going on. People would have sneaker sales, okay? And you would never see that limited sneaker that they were able to get a hold on in the sneaker sales, or they would have a collection video and you would never see those shoes. You would never see those shoes. And you're like, oh, I sold them. No, you took them back. All right. So they always kept that 190, plus tax in the stash so they can buy the sneaker, turn it over, and they would just go to different stores. You hear from me. All right. As a rookie sneaker YouTuber, I figured that out. And it was because a manager saw me filming, and she casually said, "Don't bring those back Tuesday." I was like, "What do you mean? I'm wearing these." And she's like, "Oh, good." I was like, "Wait a minute." So that's when I found out. The 8s, I think, hurt them 5s. Yeah, they did. It was too similar. And a lot of people backed away from them. Remember I said that? They're redundant, but I do like the 8s. I love 8s. 8s are very comfortable. The Nuva one mids are underrated. Mm, I don't like the nouveau highs with that material. I don't like that material. All right. Well, so okay, if you buy kicks just to flip, you'll end up homeless. All right. Let's talk about the financials of selling sneakers. And I'm gonna start from the higher tier seller to give you a warning. Hopefully you know this. A lot of us don't talk finances and economics to one another because we tend to compete with one another. And first thing I'm going to say before I get into this little gem and jewel, in this country, we call ourselves. I said this last night. And I said this a couple of times in other videos. You would like to call the United States a democracy. We are not a democracy pure. We are a capitalist democracy. If you know what capitalism means, it means that you're here to make money. All right. It doesn't matter. You're here to make money. All right. You freely make money. A capitalist democracy. You can freely make money. How you make it, that's between you and the government and the IRS or law enforcement. I'll leave that part alone. So I will recap the IRS part. So when you look at the financial caste system within this country, you have abject poverty, you have poor, you have above the poverty level, you have middle class, and you have the working middle class. Then you have the rich and you have the wealthy. All right, let's talk about the top tiers. The one thing the wealthy will not allow is a wealthy person to go broke. All right. You hear about rich people going broke. You never hear about wealthy people going broke unless they were taken out and taken down. Understand that because as long as they have a conglomerate of wealthy people continuously making money, they will make money. I respect everyone hustle, but in my opinion, resellers and hypebeasts have hurt the sneaker culture. True. All right. Um, so the wealthy will ensure that other wealthy people will make money. All right. The rich do that, but they also ensure the middle class, the working middle class, the poor, and those at the poverty line stay there because it helps them make money. All right. The goal is to be able to look down upon people who have lesser economic stature than you. So, with that being said, let's talk about people who sell sneakers. You can sell sneakers all day, hand to hand. You know, I don't have any cash on me. You're doing cash transactions, fine. We'll talk about that in a second too, about what's really going on behind the scenes. All right. It doesn't matter. They aren't tracking your paper money, if you will. All right. Unless they have a reason to it. The moment you start using apps, and these apps have to report their earnings, all right, and their shares and things like that. If they're federally traded as an IPO and stuff like that, they need to show that they have people who are earning. So they create tiers and thresholds where you have to report. And with PayPal, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 20K and 200 transactions. Somebody fact check me on that. All right, don't quote me exactly, but I know it's somewhere between 10 and 20K. We know anything above $9,999, you have to report to the IRS. All right, because eventually they may come for you. All right. So with that being said, say you file your taxes, you have a job. All right, you're just reporting your earned income from your 9 to 5, whatever it is, and suddenly you get an audit letter. All right, if you ever been audited for any reason, you know, is a very clinching moment, is a very sphincter clinching moment, if you will. It will get your attention. All right, that's why I made sure to stop selling on StockX. Okay, I'm getting to that. All right, I'm getting to it. Okay, um, you get that letter, and they say you owe them $22,000, and you're going, how? Because the average sneaker seller isn't really educated on economics and finances like that. It's money in, money out. I have inventory, I sell inventory. I receive money, I spend money. All right, basic stuff. They aren't looking at at the government saying we need to regulate what you're selling. Okay. We need to, in what you're earning. We need to regulate that because we need our cut. Okay. We need our cut. Um, Samuel will get his money, whether you like it or not, in some form or another. So you get this letter and you say, what do I do? All right. Now, all is not lost. The government doesn't want you to go broke, okay, from paying them because the last thing they want you to do is go bankrupt. They don't like that. They don't like people declaring bankrupt because then they got to write stuff off and they can't make any money off you because you don't have anything. They want you to have something so they can tax something so they can make something. So, yeah, that's how it works. So they don't want you to do that. They want to get you back on your feet as quick as possible. It doesn't look like it, okay? Trust me, it does not look like it, but they want to get you back on your feet. So what you can do is basically negotiate down, all right? So typically you'll pay somewhere between 10 and 15% of that. So if they're hitting you for 22K, would you not want to pay 2,200 versus that? So don't ignore it. Don't, because people go to jail for this. You hear about rappers going to jail. That's tax evasion. You can't ignore it. All right. You can't ignore it. I remember being deployed. All right. And I had a small business at the same time that I still was managing and stuff like that. And you know, my federal part of my pay wasn't being taxed, but because that business had nothing to do with my military service, it was as if it was in the States and I was there with it. Well, it was in the States and it was as if I was there with it because I was still managing it. And I got a letter and it had, you know, it didn't have any commas, you know, but it did have a decimal point with some numbers in front of it. And they said I owed them. So it was a couple of $100, but I didn't want to pay Samuel a couple of $100. So I called, you know, a CPA and was like, hey, are you versed in tax laws and stuff? I got a small business. They want a couple of hundred of these things from me. What do I do before I write this check? I can write it. I don't want to. And he said, and neither should you. So I wound up paying like $72. I was like, here, leave me alone. All right. So you got to understand that. So when you're making these transactions with PayPal, dig deep into the app. And I think there's an Excel spreadsheet. If you ever done independent contract work, you have to manage your expenses. Okay. Because that company that basically contracted you to perform that service is not claiming you as a employee in a tax liability. They're not doing that. They're saying you got that on your own. We've allocated money for you to perform this service. Excuse me. So you do as say fit, you know, as a scene fit. So if you aren't tracking your mileage, everything that you use to perform that service, that job, all right, you're gonna have a problem when it's time to report your taxes. But there's also a threshold. And I like to say it's around 13,000 when you're independent contract, but you have other income coming in where it won't hurt you if you don't report it. All right. Being a DJ, doing freelance video work. I have a degree in this, by the way, in radio, television, film. So I'm a degree editor. It's just that y'all don't respect my editing stuff when I do stuff like that. I got a couple videos where I get crazy with the editing. And yeah, I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. All right. Oh, wow. 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 Dang, I didn't even know that. I'm gonna have to watch his video. So here I am because I've had conversations with people and stuff like that, and you know, PayPal transactions, Cash App, and stuff like that. And you know, they was like, "Man, I made this, and that." You know, yeah. I was like, "I hope you got your taxes together, man. That's a lot of money." All right. So I'm at to watch video. I'm at to watch his video. I don't follow Sneaker Fetish. I'm at to watch his video. Uh, that's the dude that looks like goodness. I saw him pop up one time, holding a shoe. You know, he looks like Tyler Perry. If that's the dude, if that's him, I think he came up like a long time ago on some stuff. But yeah, if you're a reseller, just track your money, man, because they will come for you. The dudes is posted outside the car with the stacks of shoes and stuff like that. Hope you got your stuff straight, man. All right. Think you say you got an audit. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing it like that, you're moving shoes like that. It sounds good when you get on YouTube and social media and flex and stunt. Like I'm really getting to it. I'm going to use a sneaker YouTuber that use your imagination, not hard to figure out, but he liked to show his PayPal amount a lot. I don't know if he still was doing that. I haven't watched his video. It's not my brand of YouTube, sneaker YouTube. But I was like, I hope you taking care of your taxes on that. That was like my only advice to him. Hopefully he has the wherewithal to handle that, because that was a significant amount that he had in his PayPal, and that's income. Even this is off the sneaker thing for a second. Even when you're in college, right? And you have income coming in your college. Oh, okay. I'm gonna use me for example. I'm a retired veteran. Okay. I have the post 9/11 GI Bill. I'm not currently using it because I'm finished with my degrees and I'm not in school mode, ready to go back at the moment. If I decide to do so, it's there for me to do it. But anyway, my school was paid for with that full tuition, book, whatever. All right. If I was given a scholarship, not a grant, if I won a scholarship or was given a scholarship, that money comes back to me in the form of return. We know this if you've been to college and everything. You have children that go to college. You know this. At the end, that becomes part of my income. Now, remember, I'm a retired veteran. I have income coming in to me regardless every month. Depending on the amount of that scholarship, it could bump me into another bracket, and I possibly may have to owe taxes. So I found myself in that situation. I was like, oh, snap. I got to pay. But being that I'm a DJ and I've done other stuff, I was able to write off a lot of things where I actually got a very small return back. I don't care if it's $30 or whatever it is. I don't want to pay Samuel $5. Simple as that. We got him get caught up. Yeah, what's good, Kix Griffey? I guess he used to sell fakes unknowingly. Sounds right. Yep, Tyler Perry, my homie, swear he reviewed fakes. I think he said he got yes. All right, I'm caught up with that. I'm gonna have to check him out. When you said the name, it kind of rung a bell a little bit. I might have watched the video back in the day or something like that. But the name rung a bell, and yeah, I don't forget faces. So yeah, that's him. That's why some of these YouTubers like to take Apple Pay and Zelly. They don't want to over it. Yeah. Facts. 100 K's PayPal with a lane. Come on, people, man. I don't see. I'm glad my guy Kix Griffey here. We talk about this generational wealth and generational financial awareness. If you are African American, all right, or you have a Latin American background, or you're Caucasian and your family didn't come from money, we have a horrible way of using economics and finances. Well, viewing economics and finances as taboo. We don't share how to manage money beyond don't spend all your money, don't go broke. All right, don't waste your money. And none of these things, how you get to that point, credit, loans. We don't buy a car, make sure all that stuff. But we don't get taught that until it's too late, because our parents tend to not discuss the bills and things like that, because it's like, look, the lights are on, the food's in the refrigerator, there's gas in the car, nobody's snatching the car away, nobody taking this out, things are good. You ask for something, you get it. They don't talk to you about the challenges of managing their finances. It's taboo. All right. Who keeps was it true? Yeah. So I'm going to check him out, man. If y'all saying his stuff is thorough, and if he did sell, a lot of times somebody got caught up in the whole selling shoes, and people said, they learned a lot. Okay, whether you deem was fake or was not, they learned a lot, so they feel like, okay, I'm going to get into the educational side of things. So that's dope. Yeah, like I don't know if that's real or not. The person that was doing that, but I was like, that's not very responsible. Hopefully, you're doing what you need to do. Okay, don't come on, y'all. But back to the finance part of it. The goal is always to make your money work for you and make that money make some money for you. Everybody likes to talk about non-traditional streams of revenue. That's true. In these day and times, things a lot of uncertainty financially for people. We're going through some things where you can't make money, via social means as much as you used to. So that's why you're seeing a lot of people that weren't in the sneaker game in the sneaker game. You're seeing OnlyFans take off. All right. I mean, I just read an article about that where what's her name? Bella Thorne got $2 million off OnlyFans, and the IG models that ran to OnlyFans are complaining because now they have to drive their prices down to bring people back into it. So I'm telling you, that's just knowing finances and economics and stuff like that, where those women didn't know that, right? They didn't know how to diversify their image and things like that. Okay, exactly. The sad thing is they teach you how to make it and sometimes scam but leave out the key components. To be fair, the person admitted to having bad credit, which is why his funds are in PayPal. Oh, okay. Exactly. I don't know him on a personal level, so I can't judge him. We all make mistakes from the facts. Most things are learned after you go on through trials and tribulations. I'm telling you, failure and pain are awesome teachers. Trust me. I know. All right. My high school coach used to tell me, winners celebrate, losers learn. Because you don't want to lose anymore. So you go to study to figure out how you can stop losing. Okay. So yeah. Yep. So now they hold a payout for 30 days instead of 3. I mean, in a way, it helps you. Okay. It helps you at the same time. But just having good financial management is just it's not something that we're teaching our children. And my daughter's 12, and I gave her a scenario. I asked her a question. I do these life lessons things with her, and it's enjoyable. Where it's not like I'm your dad, I'm teaching you this stuff. Like it doesn't feel like she's learning. So I gave her a scenario about what she wanted to do at the age of 25. She's done with college. She's on her own, all this stuff. She's not in my house. She's on her own, and I gave it to her based on inflation and the cost of living right now where we live. And she gave me a ballpark figure about what she wanted to make. And I enlightened her on how tough it would be and what she would have left. All right. Based upon the mentality she has currently now, so she can feel the pain of it if she continues down that path with that 12-year-old mentality. All right. So that's how you reach them. And I was teaching her about loans and stuff like that. All right. He's building his credit, but still, PayPal is not safe for all situation. Shoebox money should still be a thing over sneakers, a healthy balance. Yeah, yeah. I mean, back to the paper money thing. I'm glad you said that. If you haven't noticed, there appears to be a campaign to get rid of paper money, and here's why: you can't trace it. Okay, they're saying there's a shortage of change. My conspiracy theory side of myself says no, it isn't. All right, and here's why: in China, they really don't deal with paper money. When I was in South Korea, um, it was the first time I saw it in 2009. They were paying with their phones, weren't doing that stateside at all. So you get in the cab, you put your phone on the NFC plate, bing, boom, out of there. You go to the restaurant, same thing. Your account was linked to your phone, just like you got now with Google Pay, Apple Pay, and all that stuff. They've been doing that in 2009 and before that. We couldn't do it with our phones. Foreigners were not allowed to do it. but they had this card called an e-money card, and it was NFC activated. And you can do that now. You can do that with some credit cards too. Kind of dangerous, but you can put a certain amount on there, and that's what I would do as I travel around the country and throughout the city I lived in. I would have my e-money card, and I would have it's Korean won. I would have the amount of Korean won I wanted to use. Meanwhile, my other accounts were protected. I lose my phone; they can't do jack with that either. All right, so boom, use that. That's it. Yeah, yeah. It all depends on how many transactions are made on PayPal. After they see there's a constant transaction, they issue your funds instantly. Yeah, they want to see how active you are because your activity generates money for them. I watched Batman Beyond. They tracing up with credit. Yep. So they really want to go paperless. There's a city in China, Shengdao, where it's either WhatsApp or you just use your phone. They're paying WhatsApp and use your phone. There's no money. There's no cards. All right. It's just boop, boop, boop. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Paperless society. Paperless money society. You know. Excuse me. Yeah. People watching this and texting me about this. So yeah, they want a paperless society. That's the conspiracy side of it. All right. The whole pandemic, the money, you can't sanitize and all that stuff, change, all that. It was going on. Thank you. Thank you. Everything's good. I hope everything's good with you too, Henry. Appreciate you. In Stockton, California, the last week, I've gone to 3 different stores that had internet crashes, disabled them from setting debit credit card credit. I think due to the fires. Yeah, it's bad out there. I hope you're safe, man. Only cash accepted. I'm good off paperless. Um, I I like a mixture of both. Honestly, I I, I like a mixture of both. I like to have some cash, available to me. Yeah, I mean it's they can track your transactions and stuff, LexisNexis and all that, because of your electronic transactions and stuff like that. I mean, it's bad enough they can follow you around the city, via the camera systems and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's got its pluses and minuses and everything, but still, it anything that comes out, humans engineered, and people want to reverse engineer to get a piece of it. All right, it's just the way things are, or they want you to round up. You know, they want you to round up. That's a big thing. Round up, or they want you to donate. What's your top 5 pairs? Bread one, Chicago one, uh, Bread four, Cement three, um, the Laney fives. All right, and I have some of those in my But honorable mention Aqua. Throw that in there. Those are my top 5 pairs. But top 5 sneakers, of course, the Air Force One, Air Jordan One, Air Max 90, uh, the Diodore N9000 series, uh, the Saucony. I love Saucony. Yeah, Cement threes. You can't go wrong with Cement three. You can't. It's hard not to like that shoe. Wireless cable, which you always need, landline in case of emergency. Facts, facts. Only shoe you regret selling. Um, I'm not a big I don't really sell my sneakers off like that. If I sold it, it's because I got good use out of it. I'm not a reseller. Don't let this fool you. um, nah, I don't. I mean, it's one shoe. I was like, man, I probably should have kept. It wasn't really regret. It was kind of like, yeah, I could have kept it on one. I had the Stucco Fops, very simple GR shoe. Um, I was told the day I sold it at a sneaker show, Are you sure you want to get rid of that? You remember the Stucco Lives had that X with the 23 on the back. People didn't like that, and they had the red sock liner. People didn't like that, and they had the 3M on it. I thought it was a cool sneaker, but I got my wear out of it. I was like, somebody appreciate it. It was in great condition. Or giving away. If I gave away the sneaker, it's because I was fine with it. All right. Shout out to my nephews. I was fine. I got my wear out of it. I was cool with it. I had come to peace with no longer having that shoe. I'm like, man, I shouldn't have got rid of that shoe. You know, yeah, I'm only sneaker I'll admit to, and I've said this a couple of times. If you knew, the only time I actually engaged in true reselling was the Obsidian ones. And why? Because $127 at the military exchange store, tax free. And I was able to get a second pair the same morning that I bought that with the intent of selling it. And I basically tripled my profit off that at a sneaker show. It's a video I have, the Spurs Sneaker Slam. I didn't even make it completely into the show, and the dude was eyeballing my shoes because he knew who I was. After I was doing the video with 210 Got Kicks and Rep Milwaukee, we were shooting videos back and forth and stuff. And my man hung out. While I had the shoes in my hand, and we were done. And he rolled up on me. He was like, "What you got in the boxes and stuff?" I had the Raptor fours, the oh man, remember the turbo greens, the neutral grays. I had the neutral grays and the obsidians. Yeah, I had four that I was willing to sell, and I walked away with over a grand. All right, and none of those shoes I bought retail. None of those shoes cost me over $129. All right, four pairs of sneakers. None of those shoes cost me over $129. So that was the only sneaker I bought, that Obsidian that was in there, that I bought for the intent of reselling because I knew I could. And other than that, I bought the shoe, didn't wear it, sold it later on, much, much later on. I'm like, I'm not wearing this. I need to get rid of it. So I appreciate it. I wore the shoe, then I sold it. That's not true reselling. You know? Yeah, those are going up with crazy. I have a pair too. Top five MCs. Did you ever get the Hair 7 2.0? No, I didn't get those. I got the sixes. Kick your feet. I got the sixes. I didn't. If I see those I saw them for the law. I saw them at 152. I still didn't want them. Sevens are a funky cut. They don't agree with my feet. Top five MCs. We'll do that. I'm a DJ. Speaking of which, shameless self promotion. All right, live365.com, WTSR, the Heat 93.2, hip hop. Oh, you don't listen to hip hop. Why did I say that? I jumped into radio mode. Rap, West Coast, East Coast, down South, trap, got that on there. R&B, neo soul, 80s rap, got it on there. All right, make sure you check that out. The playlist flips around every so often and everything. Well, it flips around often. I'll say that. Yeah. Top five MCs. Rakim, Nas, Karis One, Big Daddy Kane, and I hate to do it. I got to give it to Jay-Z off longevity, and he's been doing it. Okay, I'm not going to crap on him. All right, notice I didn't say Tupac and Biggie, and it's another reason for that. All right, put the link up for the music. I will do. All right, five. Matter of fact, let me look at it right now so I'm not misquoting myself. Give me a second, y'all. I'm with you. Hold on for a second. Cool G Rap in my top 10. G Rap's in my top 10. All right. G Rap's in my top 10. Hands down. Love him. Ooh, it won't. Come on now. Ugh, I hate when it does this. It's as if I'm not there. All right. So it's live 365.com forward slash WTSR. Um, heat. Yeah, right now it's Neo Soul playing. The Grown and Sexy, y'all. And Maxwell Till the Cops Come Knocking is currently playing on the station. All right. If you like my content, you're gonna like the music that's on there because it's kind of indicative of me. Um, yeah, the Desert Camel was fire. 312s of super vintage and nostalgic. Yeah, yeah. Um, man, it's like I have the 312s. Let's talk about that sneaker, and I talked about this. That sneaker exposed a lot of hype beasts, man, because it was originally a Don C collaboration. If I remember the first few pairs that were released, I think it was like the blue pair and the Volt pair and another pair. They came in that blue with the silver wing box. It kind of looked like the sneaker I just showed y'all. It kind of looked like, come here, come here, you. It kind of like a bigger version of this box with blue and silver. That was the Don C collaboration. Then something happened. His name just came off the shoe. Then next thing you know, it's coming in the generic black and gold Jordan box, and they just start dumping them out there. All right, and that's when people stop paying attention to them. There's so many colorways. There's nothing wrong with that shoe. I actually own the black and cement pair, and I bought those so I wouldn't beat up my cement threes. But it's a dope sneaker. It's a dope sneaker, and people weren't talking that, oh, it's a Frankenstein, it's a fusion. When Don C name was on it, when Don C name came off of it, off the collaboration, then people had a problem with it. That's why I say expose people in that video. Nothing wrong with the 312s at all. I like the Sun of Mars highs. I got three pair, I think. Two pair. Two pair. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it was like three. The punch white, the Volt, and it was like a royal blue. Pandemic. Don't blame me if y'all drop some kids because it was playing for the next 3 hours. Then I think at 11 it switches over to old school R&B, so you might make twins when that comes on. Don't blame me. I just give the people what they want. It's the proper time for that music. That's the Quiet Storm. All right, every time that set comes on, you're gonna hear Smokey Robinson's Quiet Storm song. All right, I always start off with that song, then the music changes from there. All right. Yeah, the medicine ball, that was a dope one. Yeah. The Air Commands, the Billy Hole joints, the Air Commands. I think that's what they were called. The David Robinsons. Yeah, the Air Commanders or Air Command. Yeah, the David Robinson. Yep. Nothing wrong with the shoe, man. Nothing wrong with it. Um, it's just people in hype. Now they got crazy with some of the colorways. Now the bread low pair was dope. I just passed on them. I was like, I'm leave that one alone, because I'm not going to wear it enough. But it's actually well made. Yeah, it was well made. They actually hit outlets a couple of times. I had like 5 times I could have gotten that sneaker. Shout out to my dude Lucci Street Kicks. He got him. He freaked him. He hooked the outfit up and everything. But I was like, I'm not going to appreciate that shoe. Passed on to somebody else to get it. It takes a lot of discipline in the sneaker game, y'all. Trust me, you got to have some discipline because a lot of times you'll simply have the money and you'll feel compelled to buy this shoe. You got to fight that urge and ask yourself, am I going to wear it? Because you'll wind up like this. All right. I'm on the verge where I almost need counseling. Okay, or I almost need counseling. Yeah, yeah. Who's it? Was it Spud Web joints? Was it Spud Web that had the pump, or D Brown? I think it was D Brown. First YouTube vid was the bread 312 low. Certain YouTubers had so much to say about. Look, and that's the thing. You get people that want to tell you what to buy, but won't buy you what they want you to have. Look, everybody got opinions, and some opinions, well, everybody has opinions like everybody has something else, and some people's opinions are unwashed something else's. Okay, use your imagination. The UNC Son of Mars high was nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's you'll if you fall into the trap of appeasement, you stop being you. All right, and that was one of the things when I came into sneaker YouTube where I was reviewing stuff people wouldn't touch. All right, I got my first videos got like 19 views, man. I didn't care. All right, I like sneakers. My first sneaker I reviewed on sneaker YouTube was triple black Adidas form, no, the Adidas top 10 low. And I sold this, and I wish I didn't because I got it for like $19 from Ross or something. It's a horrible quality video too. I didn't know how to edit yet, okay? At all. I was on my Note 3, sitting in my dining room. That video looks horrible. I need to roast it one day, but I've come a long way. All right. Have you seen the reverse bread lows? Yes. Yes, I have. Actually sold. There's a nylon pair. I had a nylon and leather pair, and I sold those. I bought them at 8.5 from a Nike clearance store, and I was cramming my in them. I said, "Let me sell these. Somebody appreciate them." Shout out to the buyer. Um, I slapped the price on them. Right around. I got them for like 29.99. I looked them up to see how much they were worth, and I dropped them a little bit low the asking price online. So he was happy with them. I didn't have the original box. I had the outlet box with the top ripped off of it, and I gave him a replacement box, a little clear opaque joint, and a T-shirt and some stickers because of the price he paid for them. Shout out to him. But they used to be right over here. I showed that sneaker a couple times. It was an Adidas 3MC with a Note 8. That's what I'm using now. I got a Note 8. This is actually a really good camera, and I've shot some recent videos with this. you don't you don't have to have expensive equipment to put out good content. All right, you don't have to do that. Hold on for a second, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all something. All right, right here, I think this thing is going for like $19 to $25 now on Amazon. Okay, and you can put different diffusion rings on here. All right, if you know how that works, so be it. I'm not going to explain it, but I think it's dead now. Oh, it still works. All right, so peep that out. All right, it's about to die, but that's a good thing to really light your videos. If you just got your phone, this little contraption right here, the tripod's over there, but it comes with a tripod. All right, or you can put it on a tripod because you got the universal screw mount right here, and your phone fits right in there. And you got a nice little cheap shotgun mic that'll give you decent video quality. And this was like $30. You can add other attachments too. You can put a light, okay? You can add a light right here on this dead hot shoe. a little mini light to light your videos and still get this effect. And I try different stuff in the videos, and y'all don't even know it, man. I'm not always shooting with this. Okay. I'm not always shooting with this. And this is a Canon T6i. All right. And the difference when you see I on the back of the Canons, it just means you got the flip out, viewfinder right there. Well, excuse me, monitor. That's all. All right. Powerful Canon. I don't have a Shure mic on here. It's a Trackstar mic. All right. Most people don't even know how to set up the different audio things on there. Yeah. He said, make a 6-ring video. Do your thing, man. But you don't need expensive equipment to do this. All right. Just got to have a little bit of creativity. Because trust me, a lot of your big sneaker YouTubers aren't using powerful cameras. Don't let them fool you. A lot of them don't know how to edit like that. All right. They have basic editing skills. All right. Don't expect Bullet RC and Tony D2 Wild editing stuff. All right. And even now, a lot of these guys aren't editing like that. Okay. It's just cut B-roll, cut B-roll, cut B-roll. Most people don't even use transitions. It's jump cut that's acceptable on YouTube. You can't jump cut in the industry that's considered amateurish. All right. A trained, certified, degree editor, say ask you to jump cut for dramatic effect, they'll tell you this is not MTV. We don't do that here. All right. Nah, I rotate amongst cameras sometimes. Sometimes I'm using my webcam, which is a Logitech C930. It shoots in 1080. I don't upload in 4K all the time. I upload in 1080. Most people can't even tell the difference. What fools people a lot of times is I change my frame rate. Do that to y'all a lot of times. If I want a more flat kind of movie-esque effect, I drop the frame rate. If I wanted to look like you're watching the news, or a sitcom that's shot live, I go 60. That's that. But I want to make sure it's clear and all that good stuff. It's of decent quality. If you can't shoot in 4K, don't worry about it. All right. 1080 works. Yeah, but I appreciate that. All right. Nah, Canon T6i. All right. And I have a Canon T5. I got that one. That's my backup. You got to have some kind of redundancy as well. And as a last resort, the Note 8, which actually shoots in 4K too. That's it. Sometimes I feel like if I didn't have a full-time demanding job to create more content to get better, it is. You got to commit to this, man. I want to tell you all, the reason why my channel hasn't grown like it should is because I don't shoot to shoot. I consider this art. If I have nothing to shoot, I don't try to force content. I don't. I really try to avoid that because then it's like, that sucks. But they need content. It's something. All right. And some people get caught up in that because they want that Google chat where that doesn't motivate me. Okay. It's nice, but it doesn't motivate me. I'd rather give you all, legit content because I'm feeling it. I was inspired to shoot it. There's something to shoot. And I don't do videos in every sneaker that I cop. All right. People have seen me post pictures sometimes, on different platforms. They're like, oh, Rod Steele. He'll call me on every time. Where's the video? I didn't want to do a video on these, It was nothing dramatic about the shoot, and I can get to a whole class about the basics of composing, all this stuff. I mean, it says you should storyboard. No, your storyboard's up here for this type of thing. A lot of your sneaker YouTubers don't do any editing. They cut off when they turn the camera on and go straight to what's up, YouTube. They talk, boom, at the end. That's it. People like what they're saying. You get to see the shoe, 20, 40,000 views, easy. All right. And that's how it is because they're constantly throwing shoes in your face. Another part too, I say this all the time. Don't get caught up in chasing releases for content. If you got it like that financially, cool. You don't have to buy the shoe to generate content. If they let you go in the store and shoot, you are interfering. You're not making disparaging comments about the store or the product in the store. You're not interfering. It's fine. It is. And here's another thing. You can shoot people in public. Don't ever let somebody say you can't film me. You're in a public place. They can't sue you. They can call the police all you want. All right. It's when you get inside a building and you start talking to people, that's when you need their permission. Trust me, I deal with time release forms all the time, permits and stuff like that. They can't stop you from that. Now, if the store is like, we prefer you don't film, that's fine. But if you're just walking through the mall or something like that and you're filming, you aren't bothering anybody, that's fine. All right. But do ask people, do you mind the video? They can't sue you. All right. People try that all the time. I had people approach me about it and actually quoted them that thing. People don't know. All right. It's just as long as you're not impeding upon their ability to do what they were doing. All right. We got here. Better, I just refuse to have scripted and rehearsed videos for likes. Yeah, make it organic, y'all. Just make it organic. Actually, doing lives is a little harder for me. Like we're right up on 2 hours. I know I don't like to do this for 2 hours, but we're engaged. So yeah. I suppose we're doing something else right now, but it appears that that's canceled. But hey, it's cool. All right. Um, I have a couple of videos where I did rehearse. Most time I'm one take out of there, unless I fumble over something. I just roll through the video, boom, 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 and I fix it in post, which is editing, at this, as we like to say. I'll fix it in post. But there's a couple of times where I'm trying to get a message across, and I'll listen to the video, and I'm like, no, I got to redo that. I want clarity. I don't want people confusing what I'm telling them, whether it be about a shoe or a message or something like that. Yeah, I do not. I neither do I. I want to enjoy this, so it's when I feel like it. Facts. It's not all about can I make money. All right. A lot of people get caught up in that. I need to generate that check. 1,000 subs, 4,000, 400,000 watch hours, whatever it is, I can get that check. Then they realize they haven't hit the threshold, so they feel compelled to constantly pump out content, constantly pump out content. It doesn't really work like that, you all. It's finding your niche. All right. I'm not going to get on here and try to be a comedian. I'm not going to get on here and try to constantly be controversial. The mid thing, that was organic because I like mids. All right. And I knew people weren't going to like it anyway. So it organically became controversial. I'm not going to do clickbaits and stuff like that. I just, are you going to like it or not? Your subscribers are your subscribers. They look forward to what you're doing. They have an expectation of what you're doing. I've had subscribers say, hey, the solution, what's going on with that? All right. They've said it publicly. They've hit me up because they personally know how to contact me. I'm cool with that. Kix Griffey will tell you, I have no problems with feedback, but the presentation better be professional. All right. I don't deal with the silliness like that. All right. Is that either you trying to help me get better or you feel like you're trying to throw me out on the grill to be funny? And I'm going to ignore you. All right. Depending on what you say, I might delete you. All right. You don't have to do all that stuff. There's other platforms that encourage that. Definitely want to take Jake, but I like to put my spin on things as far as editing when I shoot. That's fine. All right. Most people I've seen recently go to consignment shops and film early reviews without buying the shoe. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to buy the shoe. It's nice if you buy it, but don't go broke trying to generate content. That's not smart. Okay. I take necessary breaks to prevent burnout. The sneaker culture is over. It is. It's so many of us doing this because they see the people with 100K, they see people with sponsorship, and it's like, I want a piece of that. But it takes time. Few people are overnight successes. All right. So I don't try to force it for monetization. Right now it's down here. I'm waiting for the turnaround. Yeah. I also do customs to keep something available, but I refuse to fill up my closet for content that's excessive when you have 100 kicks already. Facts. That's why I said I was able to buy sneakers. I'm able to buy sneakers when I feel like it, but I wasn't buying for content. That's why I said um, I don't have a video on all these sneakers. All right, 100 plus sneakers. There's not a video just for each sneaker dedicated. I might flash a sneaker in a live or something, but I don't feel compelled to do a video on it, all the time. I'm just not feeling it. Yeah. Shoes up, sleeves down. More videos as long as equal views, and more views as long as equal high view time. Facts. Facts. You got drive-by viewers, man. You got people who abandon it and stuff like that. Um, there are people who expect for you to say, "What's up, YouTube?" Blah blah blah, and 30 seconds later, you got the shoe in your hand. Um, some people like the rolling. All right. Sometimes I get right to the shoe. Other times I give you a more human approach, like the other video I did while I was riding around mailing off the shoes to let y'all know I'm just not, hey, this is the Air Jordan 4, blah, blah, blah. There's tumbled leather. How many times can you do? That's what I'm saying. You build a niche, you get known for that niche, and people are like, I like going to this channel because I'm getting this from that person. Now, I don't want to blow this video, but I'm working on a video about ageism in the sneaker game. All right. Because I mentioned this last night too. I've gotten some comments, some really immature comments, and they had to be kids. If you're on here, you're under the age of 25, under 20, whatever, and you're checking out the video, and you don't do those things. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about your peers who get on YouTube and they feel like, oh, it's a roast session. And the thing about it, people are internet brave. I'll say that. I've personally seen this, by the way, where people were just talking greasy, straight up fried chicken. All right. Then they were in front of people and there's a completely different mood, completely different vibe. All right. So I'm just stop being tough on the internet. Nobody cares. All right. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to roll up to your home and stuff like that. And leave all that silliness for elsewhere. Okay. This is not loving sneakers. All right. We don't do that. I rate my analytics, take it with a grain of salt. Without early looks, it's hard to increase viewing time. The sneaker audience is spoiled by early looks and fake kicks. It is. Now, Shoes Up's made a good point. Wolf Soul Kicks, good point. I found that people that actually like my content, I was like hearing my slightly off topic. Yeah. That's why I watch you. All right. I'm like, all right, he's going to have a shoe that he likes and he doesn't care. He's sharing it with you. Then your reflection and lamenting, as I like to call it, shoes up, sleeves down. I look forward to that. All right. People have said we like when you start passing the offering plate, the salutes for cakes. You start dropping, these jewels on people. You start teaching stuff. You start sharing knowledge. Because I told y'all last night, I follow this. This is my way of life. There are three types of people in the world. There's people who don't know, all right, and don't care. There's people that know and won't share it with you. And there's people that know and are willing to share if you're willing to listen. I live that way. So I'm like, why should I hold on to this information? Where if I share it, it makes society better. It makes the culture better. All right. Jerry Seinfeld sneakers. I do too. I enjoy seeing different or original content. Most sneaker content follow the same formats, and most people don't see it. It's there's no telling when you make a video that it's going to pop. My first video that popped for me was, I think it was the Nike Special Field High, and I want to say it was the black with the gun bottom. So it was a navy, the midnight navy with the gun. It was one of those. All right, but those three videos I did on the SF kind of let me know I'm on to something, and I was very energetic. I'm usually pretty energetic in my videos. Sometimes I'm not. Where I was like, I gotta get the content out before I just like, all right, whatever. All right, but it was, people say you had a passion for that shoe. You really believed in it, and some people say I bought it because of you, and you're right. I keep it real. I do. I keep it real with you. If it's something I don't like about the sneaker, I'll tell you that. What I won't do is try to compel you to buy the shoe. All right. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't see myself as a purchasing influencer. If you buy the shoe because you like the point of view, or I got really in depth with the shoe, like, all right, I cop it now. I didn't see that about it. That's cool. All right. But I'm not getting paid to get you to buy the shoe. They're shipping me any shoes. It's funny when you see sneaker YouTubers, they get sent some shoes and they aren't feeling it, but because they got a sponsorship thing or they got to talk about the shoe, and it's hard, right? And what that means is that they haven't mastered the art of tact. All right, you could clearly tell they aren't feeling that shoe because they haven't mastered the art of tact. Tact simply means that you can voice your dislike and opinion about something without being overtly offensive or disingenuous. All right. And if you're in a professional environment, you have to learn how to use tact or you're going to have some problems. You might lose your job. You might lose a business deal because you don't know how to use tact. All right. And I see that all the time. It's like, all right, you sent me this. And next thing you know, it's like, why aren't they reviewing shoes from me anymore? Because they got you slamming the shoe, kind of in a low key manner. So this may be off topic, but when YouTubers make videos of how to increase views, it seems like a slap in the face. They tell you this with a million subs and nothing you do still works because they speak from a place of success. All right. And they're looking down from you from their YouTube 100K medallion frame as they sit upon it. Hey, look here. Nobody's watching you, sneaker YouTuber. This is how you can get 100 viewers. But you won't get them. Now, you need to do this, this, and that, just like I did. And you copy all their tags and put in your video. Nothing. It's all about that weird algorithm. All right? It's all about that weird algorithm. There's I'm telling you, I've watched those master classes just to see it. I'm telling you, it's really consistency and being compelling to an extent. You just never know. All right, there's no science to this. Trust me, I've tried it. I've looked. It does not work in that manner. Yeah, definitely prefer to hear a review, not be sold on something just informational. Hell yeah, I could like Larry David, but you're not the man. Just a matter of fact, it works. Definitely entertaining, and it's a good spin. Like, how many times can somebody slap a shoe on the table? You know, um, you know, sitting on the camera and what's the man? This is the wave right here. This, if I see that one more time, you know, this everybody's doing that. All right, and man, or I talked about this before. I'm too grown for some things, people. All right, I can't bring myself to do things like that. All right, as I'm scrubbing to find that frame to make my thumbnail, if I even make a thumbnail sometimes, um, I sometimes I catch a moment like my UNC video. It's 1,000 views on that because I'm looking, and it just landed on there, and I left it there when I did my little thumbnail thing. YouTube decided to have me like this, and it makes me look like, are you going to buy the shoe or not? And I didn't say anything about being on the fence about the shoe. So 1,000 people liked it, or viewed whatever. I mean, that wasn't the intent. They picked that. All right. So the more goofy you look in your thumbnails, the more people watch your videos, I suppose. That's the algorithm. All right. And the whole that everybody's doing that. And the Roots has a song, never do what they do. And I try not to jump on, not try. I don't jump on the waves. I avoid that. I was like, I just want to be different because I am different. I'm me. I don't have to practice. Doing that stuff, I got to practice. I got to remember. I got to have a whiteboard right there, which I don't. It's just a blank wall. They say, make sure you say this. Do this at the 5-minute mark. None of that. I don't look at a timer. None of that stuff. I tried to time myself a couple of times and it doesn't work. All right. It doesn't work. I might get in front of the camera and I was like, all right, I need to keep this. I try my best to stay at 15 minutes to 10. After that, you kind of lose people. All right. If you're not constantly doing stuff, if it's a video over 20 minutes, it's probably some collection that I'm doing. All right. It's about giving tips and ideas on how things work, but there's no guarantee recipe. It's not. Exactly. Yeah. It is. Like everybody, if somebody sees something and they got a lot of views from it, that people jumping on it. They're on it. Just like my mid video. 5011 mid videos came out from that. And these were the same people slamming mids. Oh, they're trash. But now you got a mid. Why you should buy the mid? You should resell the mid. Man, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I let YouTube choose it. Yeah. Most of the time I do. So I'm like in an awkward, I'll see it come up. I'm like, oh no, how did they pick that? All right. Now I'll change it. Like when you see the preview come up and later on you see my thumbnail, it's because I'm like, why did they pick that? You know, that's terrible. I don't like that. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. They caught me like, you know, and they chose that. Or I won't even have the shoe in my hand. I'll say, all right, I'm gonna do this for the thumbnail and forget to use it as a thumbnail. It's just you never know. You never know. You never know what's gonna pop, y'all, for real. You never know. Okay. Some of my videos I think people should watch, like how to invest using Cash App. That's a helpful video. All right. Um, your YouTube, your video equipment. That's a helpful video. You should want to watch stuff like that. All right. The scammer thing worked. The how not to get your shoes from yelling. Yeah, all that stuff right there. But the thing is that people don't like to as in mass, you can clearly see it. People don't like to be educated. They want to be entertained. And the more buffoonery that you engage in, the more entertaining you're going to be. Facts. That's just the way it is. I've seen 3 people use Mike Rich intro. Sound like a great value sneaker YouTube content. Yeah, man, you can't do that. All right, you can't do that. Just be yourself. Um, One thing when I started my YouTube wasn't the solution for kicks. It was the solution because that's my DJ name. It's not DJ the solution. It's just a solution because I do more than DJ. Um, I still only make fun of other people's thumbnails with my thumbnails. That's funny. You should, but they don't care because they aren't paying attention. They're looking at that view count. All right, they're looking at that view count. Um, just be yourself, man. You don't have to practice. Like it was the solution, and this guy's not even on YouTube anymore. He saw one of my videos and said, "Hey, you got to change your name. It's not catchy enough. All right, it's getting lost." Okay, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Good advice. So I fumbled around with it. I consider myself an amazing writer, all right, that's proven in college. Um, and I came up with the solution for kicks. But I sound like a reseller, and I'm not, So it's about that name too. Now I'm finna double back and look at your thumbnails. I got some questionable ones. But I really try to avoid the waves, man. Like the ones where they look questionable because I did let YouTube pick it. I was like, forget it. I'll run with that. All right. It is. I try to. Now the funny part is that on a personal level, I am funny. I've been funny on other people's lives, like 313. Um, her name, goodness, retro 313 retro kids. I think that's her name. I went in on her live one time, and a lot of times I had to back out because I wind up, uh, kind of taken away from what they're doing. I'm like, this dude's out of control. And I'm just being me. On a personal level, I'm humorous. I'm hilarious. But when I get into YouTube, I don't really do the humor part. I leave that alone. That's not because then I'm like, I'm forcing myself to come up with something funny to say. From time to time, stuff slip out. Like my last video with the outlet thing. I was in there, with my old lady, and sneaker shopping with her is a challenge. You know, we it's fun, but sometimes I just want to put her in the box and take her up to the counter. Like, for real, if you don't stop messing with me, you know, yeah. But it is good to slip humor, and to let people know you're human. If that's what you do. Um, like, yeah. I mean, some people. Let's speak about niche. When you start doing things, you become known for it. So it's finding your niche and recognize that you have a niche, and people are coming to you for that. I bet shoes up, sleeves down. If you came in there and your fro wasn't right, people gonna say something. Okay, if you came in there and you aren't being quirky, and we expect that, people gonna say something. Like Bobby Sneakers World, if his energy is off and he's not talking about something his cheeks, that's that. And some people, I'm subscribed to you, and I like to disagree with you because I want to bring that part of you out. All right, and you know who you are. I did it on purpose. All right. Here's the thing: if you are interacting with your subscribers or people that's viewing your content, you also not showing YouTube that your video is active. But make sure it's genuine. Okay. Like, I have people who always comment, and I make it my business to say something to them. All right, to let them know, hey, I see you. I acknowledge the fact that you took the time to watch this video. I appreciate that. All right, so I like to leave a comment, a like, or something like that. Um, just showing you appreciate them. They took the time, 10, 15 minutes to view what you did. So show them like, hey, thanks. Say something that's relevant to their comment. Yeah, I've noticed with some people, very funny conversations, but downplayed on the videos. That's me. Like, it's not, my professional side kicks in. Um, like, some people like get loquacious. You got these words. Your vocabulary is something else. So if I try to drop into my Baltimore accent, somebody's gonna call me on it, which it does come out when I get excited. But I'm not going to rely on my Baltimore accent because, for one, I'm in radio and it's not very receptive. So I wouldn't do that. And I'm definitely not going to copy somebody, or even if we are from the same place. Just keep it official. Be you. You know. He said, "What's going on?" I was like, stop. Like, well, my, what's going on? I spent some time frequenting Atlanta, and yeah, some of them have a very heavy accent, but you don't want to copy somebody else's stuff. Don't do that. You know, build your own. How do you feel about the Animal Instinct 1.0? I got them. I like them. Got them for the low. Actually found a shirt that match it. Very, very unique sneaker. I don't have the 2.0s with the elephant and all that stuff on it. I didn't like the price. I don't like 250. Just like that social status 6 that I came up on for the ridiculous low. I have a problem with paying certain prices retail. If I can find it for the low, I will. Sometimes I pass on the sneaker intentionally because I just have a feeling I'm going to see it again at a lower price. And if I get it, so be it. Yeah. So you saw the red suede mids. Yeah, I did. Um, they have a royal pair as well. DJ Redline, what's up, Slim? I love that slang. Yeah, we got we we have some interesting slang up in Baltimore. Calling people dummies is a term of endearment. I don't engage in that though. Um, yeah, we got some stuff. Sometimes I slip back into it. It's some slang I would engage in because I just wasn't around when it was popping. Do you think there'll be a day when you say, "Hey, I'm done with collecting shoes"? Um, maybe, but just like on a different level, you know, it's like on a different level, like being super selective. I'm selective now, but being super selective where my thing is variety because I think was ingrained in me growing up, you know, in a challenged environment and not getting, um, you know, 5, 6 pairs of sneakers. I got like 2 pairs of sneakers in a year. Always wanted variety so I wouldn't beat my sneakers up. Like if I had more sneakers, I wouldn't beat up a pair. So I think I'll always have that. Well, I'll have variety, but not necessarily, you know, a massive collection on this scale. Hmm. Sounds like Cali. Sometimes they don't like your response, so I don't know. Most people like social media etiquette. Yeah, true. Um, people, I think social media etiquette really revolves around what are you going to do? You can't see me, you know. So people feel courageous and they say wild stuff. If you look on my last live, there's a troll on there with some hearts and stuff like that, and I left it there for a reason, just to show people when something's moving, because there was a lot of interaction with that. You're gonna have these trolls. When I was doing my social awareness stuff that Google didn't like, I had trolls that were popping up on there. So yeah, my thing is I'm not gonna say anything to you on social media I wouldn't say and stand in front of you. That's my thing. That's just me. That's a grown man in me. All right. I didn't grow up with social media. I you know, watch social media grow. So yeah. 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 The Royal Hill suede dope and sold out on Nike all of a sudden. That's what I'm saying. Like people hating this and you seeing them sell out. And the thing is like, you know, you got the unions, the royal unions, the you know, the what is it, the bread unions, the Chicago unions, if you will, and the resale price on this is ridiculous, and they were out of touch for a lot of people. So you see this mid come along, and it's available. You're like, you know, so I'm not paying all that money for it, but this is still a dope sneaker. All right, it's not like the consolation prize, if you will. It's just economics. That's ridiculous. All right, say it. This is not a broke boy thing, is the immature youngsters like to say. The young, let me say it for you. The youngsters that are immature. All right, not all the young people know the difference between exclusionary and inclusionary language. All right, so you know those that are saying that, it's just like, why would you pay $900 for a sneaker? You know, I mean, if you can, if you want to, go ahead. But the average everyday person, like, what? Nah, this is fine. This is dope too. I'm buying that. All right, this is grown up decisions right there. Yeah, they can't stay on the shelves. I remember a little over a year ago, you would see like 6, 7, 8 pairs, man. Just get whatever you want. And now they're moving. They're moving. I told you the metallic golds are coming in October, and people are already talking about those. Those are must cops. Those are must cops. So you know, people be capping, as they say, saying mids are whack, but somebody's buying, and it's a lot of somebody's. But you know, let's get off the mid thing for a second. You know, y'all know me; I could talk that forever. Just I love the shoe. It just gives me more options. That's all. It's not because I couldn't get something. It's just more options. Oh, speaking of which, uh, little story back to the mids just for a second. Remember when the Complex Con Jordan 1 came out, and you had the top three. Well, you had the top three, and you had the Complex Con come out, and everybody hated this sneaker. Now, if you're paying attention, this sold out. It sold out, and people are like, "Man, it's a mid, but it's a dope sneaker." So, what are you talking about? I mean, these ran off the shelf to the point where this is a 10. Okay, this is a 10, and it's a comfortable 10 where it's not that big. All right, like 9.5 really is perfect for me, but This is a size 10 because I was dragging my feet. I was like, mids. I like mids. They're gonna be around. Then suddenly I drug my feet a little bit too long, and I had to get a 10 because people realized that the complex con prices had gotten ridiculous, and they were making everything limited for greed reasons. I should be one person what 1+1 is and be two. So that's how a lot of people know that I'm from Baltimore. Two, do, blue, you, through. Any of the ooh sounds, we put about 2 more seconds on it, okay? And that's where it came from. So here's a little did you know about Baltimore slang. So before we had Uber, you had obviously you still have cabs and stuff like that. So we also had what people may call I don't like using this because it's actually derogatory, gypsy cabs. It's a legal cab service where people would take you somewhere for a negotiable price. So we call them hacks. And if you're ever in Baltimore, you see somebody standing in the street doing this as cars go by, or somebody ride and like, you need a hack. All right. Hack is slang for hack, which is a British, it's a term in Britain and England for cab, taxi. So yes, that's where we get a lot of our accent and slang from. It's from, the colonial times. The White Ranger mids. Yeah. So, it's people out here lying, man. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to beat up the whole mid thing too long. We are fastly approaching 2 hours and 30 minutes. I told you all, I don't, I try to keep them short, but we're engaged and I got to give the people what they want. Got to give people what they want. All right. Hey, hey, Kicks Griffey, man, I'm gonna holler at you when we get off here. Okay. I'm gonna holler at you. We'll take care of that. Got it? Yeah, we're gonna take care of that when I get off here. Shortly. Shortly. If y'all don't hold me, all right? Yeah. So the White Ranger mids, I didn't know people would call them that. I don't watch the Power Rangers, I wasn't a fan. But it makes sense now. I remember the White Ranger. Or the Black Line from Voltron. You talk to me about that. I'm old head. I like Voltron. It's the Black Line. Pretty much for that. But yeah. Um, oh, what happened? Something just happened. Something just happened. Now I love sneakers. Will I ever stop collecting? Not on a level like this. My goal one day is just to have like just these racks or maybe one rack of just stuff I really, really like. And that's what I've been doing. I've been downsizing for to kicks that I like, the ones I'm wearing all the time. It's been a slow process. And part of it too is that it's been an ebb and flow a little bit. I'll offload three and I'll replace them with two. I was doing really good. I was offloading like three or four, and maybe a week later I might buy one. But it's just having that discipline, like just sell them, just sell them, just sell them, just sell them, just sell them. And I got a little undisciplined. I was like, oh, let me get these now. Stuff was just kind of falling into my lap. So yeah, Voltron, the G1, G2 Transformers, the Thundercats, Jason and the Wheel Warriors, the Centurions, He-Man, you know, She-Ra, G.I. Joe, Rambo, all those dope cartoons that had like the messages at the end. Silverhawks, it's crazy. Transzor Z. What y'all know about Transzor Z? All right. You had Aphrodite 8 that had the missiles for the top part. Yeah. Bionic 6. Yeah. Good cartoons, man. They weren't, well, they weren't goofy and silly now. Like the cartoons now, I'm like, what the heck is this? You can't pay me to watch SpongeBob. I'm like, what is going on here? All right. Like there's some of the cartoons, I'm like, what is this? Back in, yeah. Mm. I watched the old school stuff. That's why I'm waiting for that new Transformers that came out. War for Cybertron. Dope. Loved it. Can't wait for the new season to come in. Binge watched that junk. Awesome. I was like, yes, they got it right. They got it right. They didn't mess it up. They got it right. Yeah, Silverhawks. You had dude with the guitar. You had Tallyhawk. Yeah, man. Yo, Silverhawks was dope. Thundercats. They have been rumoring that they were going to make a Thundercat movie for years. I mean, they made a He-Man movie that kind of was trash. Um, but they need to make a Thundercat movie. That needs to come out. Yeah, Bluegrass. That was his name. Yep. But yeah, I'm from that area. The good cartoons, man. Just the Saturday morning cartoons, dope stuff. Remember the old X-Men cartoon, Spider-Man? Yeah, we had some good stuff. The Justice League with the Hall of Justice, you know, just they out here messing up the car. They try to update and milk it for toy purposes and ruin the storylines. I get it. You gotta make it relevant for the younger generations and stuff like that, but don't go making the characters into something they never were. You know? Yep. Watch Cops. Yep. Watch that. I mean, it was so many like crazy, just like dope cartoons in the 80s, man. That was like the time to really you could just sit there and I mean, I think it started getting goofy when it came out with Captain Planet. You know, not that it was a bad cartoon. It had good reason behind it. But it's like once you hit Captain Planet, it just started plummeting, man. It got bad. It got bad. It got bad. Remember they had the GoBots, which is like the Transformer knockoff. And they did mess up they messed up Voltron when they came out with the vehicles. Then they did the little mini movie series together to try to fix it. Yeah. Yeah. Wildcats. It was some dope cartoons, man. Like you had the Smurfs, you had what was it, the Littles, which is like a Smurf kind of knockoff. You had Fraggle Rock, Muppet Babies. Yeah, Hanna-Barbera had it popping, man. They had it popping. Hasbro and Hanna-Barbera was running the cartoon game in the 80s, man. And that's why we yeah, X-Men, woo. If you weren't tuning to X-Men on Saturday mornings, and Wolverine with his snarky bad attitude. Yeah, and that's when people completely forgot that Spider-Man, he was part of the Avengers and the X-Men. People forgot about that. Because it popped in my head when he showed up in Civil War. I was like, okay, it makes sense he was an Avenger and an X-Men. Like you had to read the comic books. Like back then, the cartoons were following the comic books hard. Like, okay, I gotta watch this, read this comic book too, because this happened. Yeah. Yeah, Hanna-Barbera and Hasbro, they had it popping. They had it popping to the point when show you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna jump off screen for a second. I'll be right back. Hold on, y'all. I got something crazy I'm gonna show y'all. I really do this 80s stuff, man. I'm committed to it. I really do. y'all talking my stuff, man. Y'all talking my stuff. All right, so I'm gonna hold this gem right here for a second. Y'all ain't really see that. So, Pete, I'm always grateful. Let me get the light. Y'all see that? You got the matrix. I'm always grateful for the things people give me. This was a gift. And this gift is very special because this person knew. All right, yeah, the All Spark, the matrix of leadership. They knew how much I love the Transformers, and this was a birthday gift. It's about, shoot, man, I think this is about 15 years old. All right, and it's a little dusty too. It's sitting on the shelf in my living room, but peep it out. All right, you got the All Spark, the Matrix, and this is the G1 and G2 DVD series of the Transformers. I still got the stickers. Well, these are actually magnets. It's a collector's item, y'all. Look, you got the G1 Prime photo on there. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's the G1 Prime on there. See that? Peep that out. Oh man, it's got like some cool books in it and everything. Look at that. The different disc sets. Like, I haven't even watched this because I've never taken these out of the thing. I've never watched these because I actually have the silver edition of the Transformers re-release G1. It's got the Autobots on the front, Decepticons on the back. Shout if you know that the Decepticons was a big gang in New York City in the 80s. You know who the late Sean Price is, and Duck Down Records. A lot of those guys were Deceps. All right. So, yeah. Awesome gift, man. I have to keep this. You see these little glue marks, man, because they had like this cover thing on it as part of the packaging. But yeah, the complete series, Generation 1, Generation 2, back when it was dope. Yeah, Sean P. Yep. Now for the gem. This is a VHS tape of the first Transformers movie, the cartoon. Peep that out. And yes, it's been watched. All right, you see it over there. I never rewound it. All right, this is the VHS tape. I actually have the DVD too. But yeah, this is oh my goodness. Oh, wow. I found this at the Smithfield outlet in North Carolina when I was stationed there in 2002. So this thing is almost 20 years old, okay? And they just re-released it. And I always wanted to own it. All right. Always wanted to own it. And it was actually released on VHS for the first time in 1995. It just didn't hit tapes in 87 when it dropped. I think 88, 87 when it dropped. It never went to VHS because they had a problem with distro. So it's crazy. Yeah, the Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, Peter Cullen, man. No. They had to bring Prime back. They killed Prime because of toys. Right? They couldn't bring the G2 toys out if they didn't kill Prime. It wouldn't have worked. So that was Hasbro and they're doing with introducing the new toys. So they had to roll out the new series of toys, man. But yeah, they shouldn't have killed him at they shouldn't have left him dead, man. They shouldn't have left him dead. It was so much outcry. I mean, we were crying in the theaters when Prime died. It was like they killed him. Because you weren't expecting that. Like, they actually killed a cartoon character? Because the whole good versus evil thing. So yeah. A Super Shredder pre-order. Oh wow. Yeah, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were dope too, man. Crazy concept. that became amazing. I was like, man, turtles that are ninjas? But it was a dope cartoon. Yeah, Peter Cullen, man, you just equate um him with Prime, hands down. That his voice is so powerful. Then you had James Earl Jones voicing Unicron in the movie. You know, James Earl Jones voice Darth Vader. Yeah, I even have the Optimus Prime Puma RSX. I had to get those. I slept on the Bumblebee joints, but I always wanted, when I saw the Optimus Prime joints, I had to have them. I had to have them. Yeah, that's Deceps and Low Lifes because they were still in the polo. You know, yeah. A couple of rappers came out of those crews too, man. So a lot of the boot camp duck down rappers were Deceps, and I forgot the two dudes who were Low Lifes. Goodness, his name's on tip of my voice, but it was two of them. They actually started rapping too, and they made polo really what it was back in the day, man. So you hear dudes, something you got to wear the right polo. That's a shout out to the Low Lifes, you know, doing snatch and grabs and stuff at Macy's and everything. I used to work at a department store named Hex, which is like Dillard's, and actually belonged to the May Corporation. They were a subsidiary of Macy's, if you will. So at first, I was on the loading dock. This is when I was in college, first time out of high school, and I stopped running, gave up my scholarship, was going to school on my academic scholarships, so I could work now. You can't work when you're a student athlete. So I was doing the loading dock joint, right? And I told the floor manager, y'all shouldn't put this polo by the door. You know, is people going to steal it? It's popping. What do I know? I'm 18 years old. I don't know anything. Or 19. And sure enough, man, they came in and they had wire cutters because they ran the security cables through it. Crack out the door. They had a van waiting for them. Out the door, man. Out the door. Gone. Oh, they moved it after that. They stole some polo jackets. It was like the Letterman joints and some pullovers and some hoodies and a bunch of jeans. They said they had made off with like $8,000 in merchandise. It's crazy. Yeah, Soundwave, Shockwave with the big cannon, Blaster. You know, with Soundwave's uh, Autobot clone. But in the new series, they made it seem like he was a messed up clone. You know, that Soundwave had created. Yeah, Starscream, man. Like I got the comics on a hard drive. Like I'm well read into the whole Transformer thing. Even when they merged with GI Joe for a minute, they had a series with GI Joe and the Transformers were together. So a lot of the movies, even though Michael Bay messed it up, they were merging um, different parts of the storyline with the Transformers, where you had Spike in the one of the more recent movies. Then you had the Witwickies. You had the Witwicky storyline. Then you had Spike. It's supposed to be Spike and his dad, but they just had him as old girl's boyfriend and everything. Yeah. So I think it was another dude. It was another dude. I can't remember his name. Oh man. Because he was on Drink Champs with Nori one day. In the crowd, they let him, Nori shouted him out. But yeah, they were trying to just bring in so many different parts, with the international police force that was trying to track down the Transformers. That all came from the comic book. So they were trying to bring newer fans into the movie series and appease the older fans at the same time, and it went crazy. It went crazy. You can't do well. You can do it, but you got to make it relevant. And Michael Bay was just like, forget it. I'm just having a lot of stuff explode, and people gonna love it. You know. So that's how he was rocking with it. But yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When you revive some of these older concepts in movies and stuff, where you try to bring new people in, they like it, but the people who committed to the franchise is like, what is this? This ain't working. And sometimes like, oh, this was dope. I like it. I like it. Yeah. So that's one of the things. A lot of the you know the stuff that's coming back, people are struggling with. Like, man, they messed that up. Well, think about it. Can you have a cassette deck here in 2020 and it be relevant in a live action movie? No. You can't have Megatron transforming into a German Ruger with a shoulder stock because they got toys coming out with that. That's not acceptable in this time. We had toy guns back in the day. Nobody said a word, you know, or you know, Starscream being a F-14, is F-18 is not going to work. People want to see F-30s, F-35s. They want to see updated stuff. They're like, well, you got these old jets and everything. So you got to change the storyline. Like with Bumblebee, they took it back to the 80s and like this was happening now. So basically, they're trying to fix it. Where people was like, this was trash. It was a lot of explosions, a lot of good fight scenes. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. They're taking it back to the G1 because people are like, all right, Michael Bay, a lot of explosions, a lot of good fights, but the storyline is terrible. So he's not part of this. It's a whole new team production company that's doing this now. So I appreciate it. It's it's going to take a bit, but they'll get there. I think by the third movie, people will be vested in it. They'll be firmly invested in it. But toy guns, Torgan bubble gum cigarettes, yeah, different times, man. The glorification of some very bad things were acceptable back then. Yeah, the F-14 is still a capable fighter jet. It's some countries that still use it. It's fast, it's big, it's fast. It can carry a lot of bombs. It's very agile too. So it's a very powerful looking jet. So that was the U.S. air superiority fighter jet, and it had dual roles. That was a thing. So it was a bomber, and it could get into dogfights and do well. I wanted to be a fighter pilot, then I found out I was too short. But then I saw a Desert Storm. I wasn't old enough at the time. Desert Storm happened. I saw guys getting shot down. I was like, no, I'm good. Then I wound up joining the army. Yeah. Bumblebee was dope. Took my daughter to see it. And when she saw it, we wound up watching all this stuff. You know. And she's like, oh, this was cool. And back in the day, our cartoons were violent, you know, violent, except for G.I. Joe. They parachuted out and stuff. Transformers was violent. You had Transformers getting their heads cracked. Mm-hmm. Yep. General Mo was like, yeah, they love the Camaro. We're good. And go back to the Bumblebee. Go back to the Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah. So when you look at the lessons in the Transformers, it's actually beautiful from like how you treat people, friendship, a leadership standpoint, being conflicted between doing what you have to do versus what you don't want to do. It was a lot of lessons in there, you know, and it was kids that like just admired Optimus Prime because he stood for everything right. Yeah, but Optimus also knew like I gotta crack some heads sometimes, you know. I don't want to, but you leave me no choice. You know. Then you had when from being in the army, I could clearly see like how they set the Transformers up. You had Optimus Prime, who was like the perfect leader. Then you had um, Rodimus Prime, who was like the he could be great, but he was cocky because he was good and he was immature. He had it all, but he was too immature for that amount of responsibility. And you see that in the military. Then you had Ultra Magnus, who was a great soldier, great strategist, but he was not true leadership material. You know, he was like the ultimate right hand man. You know, yeah, X-Men. Yep, social injustice, where people being excluded and stuff like that, and because of disabilities or how you look and things like that. It's all that stuff in there, man. You know, goodness, what's my man's name? He passed away. He always made a cameo. All the stuff he wrote in there. It was a microcosm society and telling people, if you read the comic books and watching the movies, you should not be doing these things. This is why. So back to the Transformers, the Autobots were set up like the way teams are set up and the way the military set up, like a well-ran military. That's how the Autobots were set up. And it was incredible. Once you get older and you like, oh, okay. You had the really good soldier that didn't agree with the leader, but he still followed, but he questioned it because he wanted him to look at everything. That was Huff and all those guys and stuff like that, just old crusty soldiers, but they still believed in him. And they went as Optimus went. And you saw when he wasn't around what happened. He was the glue that kept them all together. Then, the smallest Autobot that looked like the weakest one was actually, arguably the second most powerful one. Yeah, Stan Lee. I don't know how I forget Stan Lee. Yeah, they have teased the Gambit movie like forever. Forever. Teased it. Like, actually did like casting calls and everything for it. So I don't know with the whole Disney and Fox thing that really changed some stuff when it came to the MCU. For one, it's amazing to think about what could happen, with this next phase with the MCU. Like I love the whole Avengers X-Men thing. I love Marvel. DC screwed up. They screwed. I don't know if they can fix it. DC needs help. They did pretty good with Wonder Woman, messed up with the whole Justice League with Superman. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so they've been teasing this for a minute. Like it was rumored that Method Man was even in consideration for Gambit. So it's crazy. And Stan Lee loved Wu-Tang Clan. Loved it. He actually gave he gave the blessings to Marvel, the company that owns Marvel, to let the whole Iron Man thing go because it was using a new interest into the comic book series because Marvel's about to shut down if it wasn't for Iron Man. So Robert Downey Jr. and his success in Iron Man really saved Marvel because remember they were fumbling around with the Hulk and they were just having problems. They couldn't get the Hulk right. Yeah, yeah. It's just it's who wants to pick it up and basically developing the storyline behind it. You gotta have more than people fighting and having a disagreement. So when I was in college, I'm going down a beaten path for a second, explain how they do this stuff. I had to take script writing, and before I took script writing, I took cinematography. And with cinematography, you basically learn how movies are set up from a production standpoint. So if you haven't watched Citizen Kane and you think about editing, watch Citizen Kane. It's a long movie, but your appreciation for editing will be increased like tenfold because the stuff they were doing in the 40s. This is considered the greatest movie of all time, by the way. Um, like diffuse lighting, how they did that. They were the first ones to do that. To show some kind of suspense, they were using what's called churrascuso, which is like the Venetian blind look, where you see like they got the blinds open on the person's face, the up shots, near focus, far focus. They were doing all that stuff back then in the 40s that we take for granted now. But anyway, with script writing, um, it tells you how to set characters up. And now it's hard for me to watch movies and I don't see the required elements of script writing. Introduce the character, show the interactions with the key players from the character, show the problem the character has. All right. Just show the character what the character wants, character arc. Let them develop. All right. Show the character fail, show the character succeed. If you don't do any of those things within a movie, it fails. You can't be all over the place. Also, you got to have a plot twist. All right. Every movie should have those elements, even in a rom-com, a romantic comedy. Is always a good plot twist in there, something you shouldn't see coming, just to keep people engaged and stuff. Like you got to have antagonists, a protagonist, and all that stuff. If you fail to do those things, your movie is going to struggle. All right, no matter how good the actor is, if you don't write in that manner. And we had to write small movies, man, 25 pages, and it was a tough course. It was fun though, you know. Yeah, Disney still don't own the Hulk or Spider-Man. They're leasing them. I mean, that's Fox basically like holding on to a cash cow. And this is why they screwed the Hulk up. And this is why Spider-Man is in limbo. All right. Last time I checked, it looked like they kind of got something worked out. But I don't think we're going to see a solo Hulk movie again because all of the fails. They did it 3 times and they couldn't get it right. I love the Hulk. That's my favorite X-Men character. I love him. All right. Yeah, Sony. So, Sony realizes that the money that's behind it and stuff like that. So it's like they're not going to let that go. All right. Unless Disney buys them out, which they may try. Everybody's buying out everybody. But anyway, they won't let the Hulk have a movie to fix his character. So they got to do different things. And it looks like they were teasing Red Hulk or World Killer Hulk. Because at the end he gets really mad and all that stuff. We got Professor Hulk and all that stuff, but it's things that they try to bring into the movies that they ruin characters sometimes. Well, that would be dope. I saw the cartoon. The cartoon is fire. If y'all aren't watching like the X-Men cartoons on Netflix and stuff, those are dope. Like if you don't understand Thor Ragnarok, and Beta Ray Bill and all that stuff, and the Coliseum fight scenes and stuff. That's where that came from that Thor and Hulk movie. It was dope. I love those cartoons, man. Oh man, we're approaching the 3-hour mark. I've got to get off here, good people. It's been great. Thanks for everybody rocking with me all this time. One thing I did notice with StreamYard. This may not go up right away. This didn't pop up on YouTube till the morning. I don't know why they do that. Yeah, I think what it is, YouTube wants you to use their streaming platform now. Yeah, Batman Killing Joke is dope too. All right, the cartoons be on point, man. I'm telling you, gotta watch them. They're better than the movies sometimes. All right, the DC cartoons are better than the movies. But like I said, it's been a pleasure. When I pop on here. Video dropping soon. All right, because I'm taking it back to the essence. And another video I'm working on is about ageism in the sneaker. No, I ain't gonna mention it. It's you gotta see them, man. They crazy, they dope, man. It's been a pleasure. The dedication everybody showed hanging out on here. You know, um, just 3 hours. That's insane. But I do appreciate you all. Do sub to one another, okay? Sub to each other's channels, help everybody grow, participate. Um, hey, Case Griffey, as soon as we get off here, we're gonna chop it up real quick. Then I gotta move on to some other stuff I need to take care of. But it's been a pleasure, y'all. Like I always tell people, be a good human, and it's not about how much you pay for the sneakers, it's why you pay that much, and I'm out of here. Boom.